morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Week 3 in the NFL kicked off last night in Buffalo. The Bills improved to 3-0 with a 31-21 win over the Dolphins. Miami's 0-3 on the season. Tua Tagovailoa was picked off with 3 minutes left in the fourth. In the win for Buffalo, Josh Allen threw 3 touchdowns. The 29-year-old's the fastest player in league history to reach 300 total touchdowns. It took him 114 games to do so. Week 3 continues Sunday. The Browns host the Packers at 1 o'clock while the Bengals play at the Vikings. In college football, number 1 Ohio State's on a bye. Buckeyes are at Washington next Saturday at 3:30. A pair of Big Ten teams are in action tonight. Rutgers hosts Iowa at 8 o'clock. The Scarlet Knights are 3-0. In baseball Thursday, the Reds shut out the Cubs. The Guardians beat the Tigers 3-1. Cleveland's a game and a half back in the AL wildcard. And it's week 5 of the high school football season. Westerville North hosts Delaware tonight at 7 o'clock. You can hear that game right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lesmeries joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
it's a rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
Oh, let's do it live on a football Friday. I mean, come on, no bells. We can't play them. We don't have a game. You can't. What are we supposed to do with our hands?
It's very disappointing.
I mean,
if there weren't 2, I'd be cool with it.
I think that's it. I think it just feels weird, right? It just feels weird to play 3 games, to sit one out, and then have to do this. When's the next one? Is it last weekend in October?
That sounds about right.
2nd in November. I can't remember where. Because
it's definitely in October.
We pick up this. Is it the problem with all of this is we picked up the second, like November got long, right? Is that the problem? We picked up an extra week, and that's how we have the 2 bye. It's tough.
So it is the last Saturday of October.
Okay,
Ohio State has a bye. So you go
after Wisconsin.
So November 1st is Penn State. So you have a game on the 1st. So yeah, you've got 5 in November.
5 games in November. So normally it's 4, so that's where you pick up the 5th. Yeah, look, it's just a quirk of the schedule this year. You get into a rhythm of things, though. And I find as I've gotten older that if anything disrupts my rhythm of things, I'm a mess. I'm just a complete mess. If I stay up a half hour later than I typically do, I'm a mess the next day. If I get up, I can't sleep in anymore. Can't do it. My wife's like, "Why can't you sleep in when we get to the weekends?" And I'm up at 7. I don't know. It's just body clock, time to get up. Let's go. That's the way that it is. And this time of year, I look for Buckeye football on a Saturday, and so we have a bye week. I could spin this either way from Ryan's perspective. I could see how we kind of made the case that this was kind of the perfect schedule last week. That you start with this showcase Super Bowl in the Texas game, then you get a glorified practice against Grambling, not quite throwing on air, but in the vicinity. And then you get a bigger test in Ohio, real quality program, and a team that feels like it's going to win the MAC again. So that's a nice test. My hunch is he would like to just play Washington right now, that he'd like to just go right into it. We'll hear from him in about 25 minutes or so just about how they've managed this bye week, off week, how they've tried to maintain sharp. But my hunch is you'd like to just keep going a little bit. This does allow for some fine-tuning, a little bit of respite. But when you have a season this long, I don't know where else you put it. If you're going to have 2 bye weeks, one of them's going to have to be in September and the other one's going to have to be in October. My hunch is if he had his druthers, he'd rather have one sometime in November. The second one, maybe sometime in November, would be ideal. But this is the hand that we're dealt. So what are you doing with your football Saturday. Like I've mapped this out. Like all of a sudden we have all this free time. We're definitely going to play a little bit of golf. It stinks because the games I'm most excited for are not most excited, most curious about are going to be in that 3:30 window, which is that middle of the day window. I'm really curious about Nebraska, Michigan. I want to see what that looks like. So that's one that jumps out to me. But beyond that, it's kind of like a free pass Saturday. If you are going to get a fall wedding in Ohio, today's the day. This is the day. It's this weekend. It's tonight and it's tomorrow. My hunch is that these are booked. Like you go to the wedding venues around the state, my guess is that tonight and tomorrow are slammed.
Don't do fall weddings, though. Stop with that.
I don't mind it on a bye week.
This is a good job by everybody scheduling the wedding this weekend.
Yeah.
And you look back on this in 5 years, and it'll look like a fall wedding, but tomorrow is not going to feel like a fall wedding.
No, we're hot.
Like, I feel bad for everybody that's got to put on a tux and do the whole pomp and circumstance.
Where are we tomorrow? What is our temp tomorrow?
Last I saw was 85 mid-80s? For the high.
85?
I heard we've got an air quality alert today.
Sure.
It's so hot.
87 for your Saturday, kids.
I'm looking at 89 on one of them right now.
As long as it's an late afternoon wedding, I think you're going to be fine. It'll be hot outdoors during the ceremony, but by the time you get to the reception, you'll get a nice cool off, and it'll probably be okay. What are you guys going to do on your Saturdays without Buckeye football?
Well, funny you should ask that. The Guardians have a series.
Another sequel, huh? They're running it back.
We're
another sequel.
early.
Is this after Infinity War?
This would be their fourth movie. It's funny with that movie, like The Guardians is probably the best Marvel content that nobody knew existed, and then became everybody's favorite Marvel content.
Yeah, it's really accessible, and they're fun. Like the boys love it. I mean, they love them. They're fun. So I think that works. Look, well, and I'll give you your moments here on your baseball stuff momentarily, but it's funny. I guess Tyvis, I'm like, do you have headspace? He's all talking about the Guardians. He's all jacked up about the Guardians, and I'm like, are you watching? He's like, no, he's not watching. He goes to Oregon.
People are texting me.
His Guardians experience is people text him and tweet him that they're but
only when like one player has a hit.
Team player. Yeah. That's
huge Cleveland guy, Tyvis Pell.
Big
unaware
big Guardians fan.
What the score is in the middle. Probably yesterday because they played in the middle of the day. He got a text because John Kenzie Noel hit a home run. He's like, "Wait, what's happening?" Unaware.
John Kenzie was still in Columbus.
I think where we are with the baseball stuff is if you're like Reese and you watch every game and you're locked in, you're watching it no matter what. I think other than that, for baseball, it's if you're in that town. If you're in a town that's got a team, then it becomes a communal thing where this is what you do. We've experienced that, with the Blue Jackets when they make a run, all of a sudden the whole town is paying attention. Like guys like Baker watching every single game the Jackets play, but the gross majority of you are not. But when there's a moment and you want to jump on that bandwagon, the whole city will jump behind it. And that's what baseball, basketball, that's what every sport other than football is right now. Is if it's going good in your town, you're all in. If it's not, then you're not paying attention to it. And that's the task. So I think that's as all of these sports evolve, and we've got some news on some SEC scheduling, which talks about the evolution of the sport and the thought of it here that we'll get to momentarily. But as all the rest of these sports evolve and try to find their way, their path towards success is going to look very different than college football and the NFL's path to success. College football and the NFL, just roll out the ball, the whole country cares. Like that's where we are with both of them. With the other sports, it's going to be about filling seats in your stadium for all of those home dates. You mentioned hockey going to 84 games in the next couple of years. So what's that about? It's about creating some revenue. They need to have a little bit more revenue here. So that's what it is. Another home game is 20,000 seats, hopefully. If you sell 15 of them, 10 of them, 12 of them on average, you can do the math on that per ticket. That adds up pretty quick, and every dollar counts. And so what you'll see over the next month or so with the baseball stuff, if you're someone who just paratroops in on it, you're going to see, full houses, and you're going to see all the things that you want with fall ball. But if it's not in your market, or if you don't have a team that you're connected to, it's going to happen in a closet. And we've seen that. That's a decade now where it's kind of been that way. Meantime, college football, and NFL regular season will dominate all of it in terms of the attention that's given to it and the eyeballs that are on it. To that end, the SEC is going to reveal Tuesday all opponents for every team, new 9-game schedule for football in 2026. The 3 permanent rivals, sound familiar, will be referred to as annual opponents, which will be reviewed every 4 years. So it seems to me like everything that the Big Ten tries to do, the SEC just says, hold their beer, we'll do it better. You notice that they didn't say, can you give us your preferred choices for permanent rivals? No, they didn't. They said, these are your 3. This is who you're going to play. Oh, but Penn State is unrivaled. They don't want to play anybody anymore because everybody's their rivals. Okay, little Jimmy, you don't have to play the mighty Buckeyes or Michigan. What's the SEC doing? Hey, Bama, you're playing Auburn, you're playing LSU, you're playing Tennessee every year. I'm sorry, but those are your permanents.
This also, this morning from David Hale from ESPN, the ACC is closing in on a scheduling format that will require conference members to schedule at least 10 games against Power 4 opponents.
It's coming, all of them.
Big Ten was running its mouth about 9. You better get there. Where are you with your boy Cigarette Signetti?
Yeah.
With his scheduling, you going to get your 10 in there, Kurt? You better follow suit. You better play 10 Power 4s. You can't be doing this Indiana nonsense with the schedule. And you want to be taken seriously.
And what is it, Bo? It's not next year, but is it the year after that? There's 1 year here coming up where the Buckeyes got nothing in the non-conference, so they're going to have to get someone on the books. They're going to have to boot a little guy and bring someone big in.
Well, but is the Big Ten going to demand them do so?
They have to, right? You have to. You can't be the chesty one saying we need everyone doing this, and when everyone does it and says, "Yeah, we're going to play at least one Power 4 outside of," you got to jump on quick too.
So you're looking at 2029, Navy, Charlotte, and Youngstown State, the first 3 games for the Buckeyes.
Yeah,
that can't be.
Somebody's going to have to go there.
Yeah. We love the Youngstown. I mean, I'd get rid of Charlotte. Keep the money in state for Youngstown State. Get rid of Charlotte and play Virginia. You're going to pay Charlotte to come in here, pay North Carolina State to come in here. Mm-hmm. What difference does it make? But, yeah, you're going to have to do that. And you can't have the crap that Signetti's trying to pull at Indiana, where we're not going to play anybody out of conference. So everybody else is doing it. You called everybody out saying you're not playing 9 conference games. Well, they are now, and they're playing an additional Power 4, so that's a hold your beer moment. What's your answer to that if you're the Big Ten? Lots of college football talk, obviously, on the program today. Bill Bender will join us at 9:45. Tim May, 10:30. Doug Lesmeries at 11:30. We will know the scores. We have a new segment. That we're going to break out. Reese is going to explain it to everybody coming up at 10 o'clock. So we're loaded up, kids. Completely loaded up, including a little bit of baseball. We will get into that coming up next. And your Uncle Bo had the right read on the Thursday night football game. We'll get to that as well. We're off and running on a Football Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
The football season now stretches from August to late January, and we can't afford not to beat our very best all season. Hey, guys, it's Eric Reeser, and if you're like me, looking at the calendar wondering how you're going to stay at 100% for the next 5 months, do what I did. Go see my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa. I went to their Grandview location, got hooked up with a fast vitamin push that's got me feeling better than I have in years, and the NAD Plus has me thinking better, too. From IV to aesthetic treatments, look great, feel great at Hydrate Me Med Spa. 4 locations, Grandview, Granville, New Albany, and Dublin. Book your appointment at hydratememedspa.com.
From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in OHIO. But the greatest players and coaches of all time live in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if you spend your Sundays yelling "Hoo Day" or barking like a dog from your seats in the pound. A trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame should be on every fan's bucket list. Plan your trip at ProFootballHOF.com. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion, relive the glory.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on 6-ounce packages of raspberries or blackberries. They're only $1.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and football season is here at Columbus, and Germain Toyota of Columbus has the winning plays. Drive home a brand new 2025 Tacoma SR5, just $269 a month for 36 months, 10,000 miles a year. Or power up with the Tundra, now just 1.75 APR for 72 months. Don't wait. These deals, they won't last long. Stop by Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or shop anytime at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth, or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient, and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the Super Quick Auto Pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
Every student, regardless of race, background, gender, or ability, deserves to feel safe and welcome in their school so they can learn and grow. The doors to your local public schools are open to every student because every student deserves to belong. Stand with us for the great public schools every Ohio student deserves, no exceptions.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Morning Juice, real football talk. Just two guys who aren't afraid to say what needs to be said. And that's how she wrote.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Now streaming mornings on YouTube and 10 TV Plus. Attack and dominate. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We end the work week hot and with plenty of sun. Skies will be hazy as we do have an air quality alert in place. Daytime highs topping up in the upper 80s to low 90s. And then for tonight, mostly clear overnight with lows in the mid to low 60s. For Saturday, we could see a stray shower or storm in the afternoon. Otherwise, mainly dry with partly sunny skies and highs in the upper 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Are you working? Because we barely are. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football and quiet quitting. The Fan. Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
You can almost feel it. That crisp morning air, leaves crunching under your boots, the crackle of a warm campfire. Fall camping is pure magic in the Buckeye State. Get ready to get some outdoors experiences for you, and there's only one place you can go if you're trying to, and that's RCD RV. And with RCD RV's Fall into Adventure sale, September 15th through the 30th, you could cozy up to incredible deals. Get this, guys, on all remaining 2025 models. Picture yourself by that campfire, surrounded by family and autumn leaves and friends, or planning the perfect Halloween camping trip in your new RV. Visit one of the locations, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com. Don't miss these fall savings at RCD RV. Look, sometimes when it comes to picking things, you just have to apply something that has nothing to do with football. And when I saw the initial line of Buffalo, Miami at 11.5 on Monday, I just said, that's not high enough. It's not high enough. And I think I can't remember if we had the conversation or not, but I had the conversation with somebody earlier in the week that what would that number have to be for you to feel comfortable taking Miami? And the consensus was always like 14.5, 17.5. Even maybe 20. I mean, NFL doesn't get to 20, but it's 14.5, 13.5, something like that. And the line never moved. It just stuck at 11.5. And then yesterday I went and looked at the public before we made our scores picks in Beat the House, and I saw that upwards of 80% of the public was on the Bills to cover. And I said, well, okay. They don't build all those fancy hotels by being wrong. They just don't. So it was a really good day for the folks in the desert yesterday as the Bills win, but did not cover 31-21. As for the actual football side of things, it felt like Miami had a lot in it. The way that they approached it in the first half, it felt like their attitude towards it was, we're going to turn our season around right here. And obviously they did not. Allen had an incredible play inside the 10-yard line in the first half to put them up 14-7, and then Tua with the big pick down at the end. But this is what really good teams do, is they take care of business when other teams in the NFL have everything in it. And to me, it felt like from Miami's perspective, they pushed all the chips into the table last night. That's what it felt like. And to come home shorthanded against a really good team, but to come home shorthanded now sitting there at 0-3 and the season's probably lost from their perspective. From the Bills' perspective, when they play Miami, all they do is win. 13 of the last 14, Buffalo stays right where they have been from the start of the season, right there with Baltimore atop the AFC. But to me, this was a little bit more about Miami and how much they had into the game, and to come up empty feels like a season ender, and it feels like McDaniel will be on the scrap heap relatively shortly.
That opening kick return that sets up Miami's touchdown, the drawing first blood in the game, felt like the Jon Snow moment where you got the Bolton army rearing down on him and he unsheathes his sword. But in this instance, the Knights of the Vale did not come.
No, they did not
and
come.
save him from this. I stayed up way too late, just hoping after Tua throws that pick that they're going to go down and score a touchdown.
Get yourself a
because
little
I was
cover.
with the public thinking this is going to be great. Because at no point do you, even after Miami scores, goes up 7-0, do you think that Buffalo's in danger of actually losing the football game?
Never.
It's just because of how hapless Miami's been and how much of a force Buffalo can be for 4 quarters. I remember writing this tweet that said, too bad Miami has to play the rest of this game. After Buffalo goes up, I think it was 21-14. Because I thought that was where it starts to roll. But Miami keeps it close the entire time. And I guess it's bleep the public for the rest of the season in terms of NFL beat the house.
The public rarely gets them right, boys. They're especially when it's that big of a margin. Rarely gets them
I
right.
did think that, for Buffalo, outside of I think the Bills have the Chiefs. It's like they've just got to worry about not getting hurt and then beating themselves.
Oh yeah, they'll cruise to that division.
Yeah,
I mean, they've got it now. They've got the AFC East a way that it's weird how that division can never have 2 teams good, but they are right now in the AFC East the same way it was with the Patriots. Like they're going to go 13-4 at worst.
Yeah, they got the Chiefs in November.
Yeah.
It's probably the safest bet in the NFL right now that they are winning the NFC East or the AFC East, excuse me.
Yeah.
And listen, you just knew at some point in that game, at least I thought, Tua's going to do something to give this game away.
Yeah.
And at the end, he threw the pick, and it was like, well, that's what Tua does.
Isn't it something when you think about, like, what are they? Just trying to see what we can see with our own eyes what he's been. They took him over Herbert, though, who I know you don't like either, but I'm guessing you'd rather have Herbert. He's 27 years old. This is his 6th season in the NFL. 6 seasons, which it's hard to believe that's how old all of that is. He's had, when you look back at it, he's had the one transfer. This was the season where last year everyone, including myself, was really high on them because it was coming out of the season in 2023. He played all 17 games. It's 70% completions. It's 46-24. 29 touchdowns, still high on the picks, 14, but a rating of 101.1. That was the one where you thought maybe you're onto something a little bit here. But the reality is that he's kind of in the spot where it's not even really the cousin spot. He's kind of in this spot where, like, you have, maybe it's more like Danny Dimes. Maybe that's the better comparison to where he's actually 38-27 as a starter. Obviously riddled with injuries, and the concussion stuff is downright terrifying. But up until this year, he's had a winning record as a starter every single year. But there's also a very hard ceiling, I think we all acknowledge, on what he can do for them. Like, you're never going to beat, and this has been a big topic this week with the Baker stuff up in Cleveland. Like, Miami is never going to beat Allen or Lamar or Mahomes with Tua. But I also don't think that every NFL team is entitled to Super Bowls. Like, is it fun along the way? Did you have a little fun along the way? There's some of that too. So I think that's kind of the spot they're at with him, where he's 6 seasons in, he wins more than he loses. When he's healthy, he's pretty effective, but you're never going to beat Allen and Lamar and Mahomes with him.
And I think he's a pretty good quarterback. I think he's a middle of the road NFL quarterback. But like you said, I think there's a ceiling to what he can do.
So to cut him right now would cost the Dolphins $79 million. And I'm just looking at like his contract numbers over the next couple of seasons, the cap hit it means for the Dolphins. Don't look at that if you're a Dolphins fan.
No, they're into it with him.
Well, and here's the thing. If they wanted out from under him, I believe there would be some team out there that would take him. I don't think he's that bad that there's a team out there that's not going to be like, no, we don't want that.
No, that's exactly where the Browns were with Baker the first time around. It was very similar to this. Like, it came time to, like, do we want to pay this guy based on what we've seen? And that's the same thing here. It's like, do you want to? They paid him, so now they're with him, but there's a ceiling on what it can be. So for Buffalo, obviously, no notes. They're more than fine. They're not going anywhere. They're one of the best teams in the NFL. All right, so your beloved Guardians, Reese. This I got to tell you, I did have this on when Jose Ramirez. I had this on in the background when Jose Ramirez hit it in the seventh, and you just went, that dude is something. That's a hell of a thing, man. And to sweep the Tigers, like, to me, go win the division now, right? I mean, that's kind of where you're at.
You're 3.5 back, or you're 3.5 back of the Tigers right now in the division. You've got 3 games to play against them. So you've got a series against the Twins this weekend. Yeah, it's all there for you if you're the Guardians. And I was trying to think to myself, because watching Jose Ramirez hit that ball at Comerica Park is about as sweet as it gets, because you see all those Tigers fans that probably took the day off of work to go just cling to the idea that, we've still got the division. We're still in a playoff spot. But that collapse since probably the end of June, early July has been pretty sweet from a Guardians fan's perspective. This is why I can't quit this team, because they do stuff like this where they have, a superstar in Jose Ramirez. Guys go up and down the entire season in terms of their productivity, and they can pitch the hell out of it.
You shouldn't quit them. They're demanding you not to quit them. They're demanding your attention as a fan. You've bought in with them, and they're rewarding you for it. And they've done this for the better part of the last, 18 years.
It's their playbook for at least.
Like, this is 20 years of this. It feels like, to me, like every year they're in the mix. They've gotten very, very close to winning it all. But this kind of goes back to what we were just saying about the quarterbacks. Like, you're not entitled to the World Series. To me, what a sports franchise, the fine line that they have to walk is, be worth my time, be worth my investment, be fun, be a little fun along the way. I mean, that's what it should be. You're not entitled to go win the Super Bowl, go win the World Series. No one's entitled. That's hard to do. It takes luck and talent and money and all these other things, but you are entitled to a little fun along the way. And that's something that I think the Guardians routinely provide their fans. There's a lot of fun along the way.
The Guards have been that for 30 years. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if there's 10 players in baseball you would trade Jose Ramirez for, and that dude took a discount to stay. He deserves whatever success he can get.
Yeah, I mean, he will go down as, it's pretty remarkable because they have an incredible history, but he's a Mount Rushmore Indian Guardian. He's way up there. It's Feller, and he's there, because the other thing is everybody has this nostalgia with the mid-'90s Indians, but a lot of those guys didn't play there as long as you think. Like, Kenny Lofton wasn't there for a decade. It wasn't like that. Those guys were in and out. Tomey left in free agency. Bell left in free agency. Manny Ramirez. Yeah, they all left. He's stuck. It's a remarkable thing, and it's an incredible reward for folks who are locked in the way Reese is. No joy in Mudville. No Buckeye game this weekend. How are the Buckeyes handling the bye week? You'll hear from Ryan Day, Matt Patricia coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Don't mind. You're my hero.
This sports report brought to you by Bet365. Football is back. Get ready for the season at Bet365. When it comes to sports books, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Your game day headquarters is here at ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus, the only place to watch and win. Catch every play on more than 30 TVs and over 50 feet of video wall. Score tickets, signed professional and college sports memorabilia, and pen cash prizes. Join the watch parties for every home team game with a tailgate buffet and bucket specials. Plus, get official game day swag with every table reservation. Game day lives here, only at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store today. Walk-ins are always welcome. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
Drive your dream car home today, no matter your credit history. Hey, it's Phil here at Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall. We proudly accept all credit types, good, bad, or none. Get pre-approved in minutes and hit the road with confidence. Get your new ride today. Call 614-861-7150 or shop our huge selection online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com. Your perfect ride is credit ready and waiting at Capital Ford of Columbus.
It's always a good day at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship, September 18th through 21st at the Scarlet Course. PGA Tour's rising stars compete, Hub 13 drink specials, and more. Get free tickets today at ncc-golf.com.
Dormar, you're my hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Well, normally what's up on a Football Friday is you've got a Buckeye game to prepare for and a matchup to break down. We do not have that this week because, of course, the Bucs are on a bye. They are at Washington a week from tomorrow. Ryan Day from Roundtable earlier in the week on how they're handling the bye week, improvement week, off week conundrum.
Yeah, we really kind of call it an improvement week like we did last year, which means, it was only 3 weeks into the season. So now August was a physical month for us, so we are going to catch our breath a little bit, but we got to improve in all different areas, individually, and then in all three phases. We'll certainly be working on some situations, getting ready for the noise in Washington on offense, and making sure that, we're getting ahead of these opponents so that we can, again, put our players in the best position to be successful, because the first goal was beat Texas, and then we started, playing some of our depth. We're starting to gain an identity in all three phases, but as we take a look at what we've done here in these first three games, we have to identify what we've done well and project out where we think we need to go. And so those are all the decisions we're making this week.
Yeah, I think if you're Ryan Day, you kind of view this season in four tranches. So you have Showcase Super Bowl Texas. We've talked about it. Grambling, Ohio. Break, reset. Then you have another tranche of games that get you to the end of October. Then you have a massive one in November that has 5 games, including games against Penn State and your rival at the end of the month. Then you're going to have that little break and then on to the playoffs. So it really breaks up into 4 segments of the season for Coach Day. And my guess is they've had a pretty crystallized plan for all of that. How they handle this bye week and how important the next 4 are, here's Coach Day on that.
Yeah, we try to look at who we have, where we're going, where we are in the year, what's coming in these windows. The first window we looked at was the first 3 games. You have a bye week come up for air, and you look at these next 4 games, and then quickly it's going to turn to Washington, as if it's already starting to turn towards Washington. But when you look at this 4-game run right here, you're going to be on the road for 3 of them. First one's a West Coast trip, and this is our first conference run here, so we're going to get a good idea what type of team we have coming out of this run.
Here is Matt Patricia on the bye week and the away environment that will be waiting for them out in Washington.
We got to go on the road now. We have a whole operation there that'll be a little bit different than what we're used to communication-wise, and then certainly, Washington being in their home stadium and having that advantage for their offense, so that gives us some different challenges. And certainly just, this teams get better each week, and Washington will be, the next best team that we face in their offense. And, Coach Fish does a great job. Jed does a great job with that unit, their quarterback and their skill players and the running game and all the things that they present from a problem standpoint. I think they're tops, in college football and a lot of offensive stats. So he's a great coach. They got really good players. This is a huge challenge for us, the travel and kind of the change of schedule. We finally kind of getting on like a normal schedule here in season. It's been nice to be home. I really enjoy our crowd. I enjoy our fans a lot. That's a big advantage for us. And so if they can travel and get out there as much as possible, that'd be awesome. I'm all for it.
Yeah, you heard Ryan talk about it and Matt a little bit there too. I think ideally you'd rather play the Washington game this week and then the bye, give you these 4 games, and then you have kind of in that first 4 game you would have had every experience. You would have had a marquee national game, a glorified practice, a step up from a glorified practice in a big way with Ohio, and then you would have had a major road test, and then a bye week to kind of reassess. Because I don't know where you guys are. I would have loved to have seen them play this week, coming off of some of the things that really bothered Ryan in the Ohio game in the red zone. Did those get fixed right away? No better way to figure that out than on the road in Seattle against Washington. And instead, we kind of have to wait a week. So I think that's ideally Washington tomorrow, then the bye week.
Yeah, you're kind of just sitting. And I don't know if stewing is the right word, but that was the word that came to my mind first. So the red zone issues, for the defense, I think Parker Navarro probably the first 3 weeks gave you your toughest quarterback challenge. Damon Williams will give you a similar, if not better, challenge. So you almost could have had like the Parker Navarro going into Williams at Washington could have really helped hone your skill set to take on a mobile quarterback, something like you'll need to have later on in the season, because Michigan's also got a guy that can run around a lot. And to have that kind of week off, you watch a lot of film, but also I do think these guys are still kind of in that mindset of I really want to hit somebody that isn't wearing scarlet and gray.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I would have rather have played this Washington game this week personally. You got the things fresh in your mind to work on. You can work on those in practice, put them right into a game. I think the Parker Navarro, Damon Williams comparison there and the style that they both play would have been good, just coming off of Parker Navarro, getting right into that. You did such a good job keeping him contained, although I think they probably had a similar game plan a little bit and respected Arch's mobility for Texas, so maybe that's something we don't need to worry about. Maybe this Ohio State defense just has the guys to keep a running quarterback in the scheme in check. But I just never like a bye in the first quarter of the season. I always think that's too soon, whether it be NFL or college. I just don't like it.
Well, coaches don't like it either, but unfortunately this year with the 2 byes, this is kind of where it's going to have to be. And they'll manage it. They'll be fine. And, for them, you're going to get a chance for everybody on your team to watch your opponent. I mean, Washington it's at Washington State, right? The Apple Cup's in Pullman this year. Is that a 7:30?
I think it's 10:30.
Oh, is it late?
I think it's a later guy.
Okay. That's a fun game, though, to be able to kind of get an eye on how your opponent is.
Oh, it is 7:30, excuse me.
Okay, yeah. And it'll have a massive – I mean, Washington State is not what they've been with Johnny Batir, or they're not what they've been with Minshew or Cam Ward or any of that. They're not that quality of team, but that's a massive emotional game for Washington to play. I was telling this to Brother Bone and Tyvis. And Tyvis going out to the Civil War game with Oregon State and Oregon. I think that's in Eugene this year, right? I think it is.
Yes.
I wish it was in Corvallis, but either way, what I hope we don't ever lose is those type of games, because rest assured that everybody in the state of Oregon and everybody in the state of Washington feels about that game the way we feel about Ohio State, Michigan. They care that much about it. And it's one of those, both of those are rivalries where it really doesn't matter what the records are in terms of the give a damn level of the patrons. They're locked in. They are completely locked into it. And so while Washington's a much better team, and I know that both of those spreads are bigs, I think we're picking them both at 11 o'clock, the passion will not be – there will be no short supply of passion for those two games. And it's playing them at 7:30 at night and then getting the Buckeyes in a week, that's not ideal for the Washington Huskies. I promise you that. Those games are special. Both those games are.
Well, I'm guessing if that game was in Corvallis, Tyvus wouldn't be going there. I'm guessing the Big Ten wouldn't head to a Pac-12 school. But, yeah, and we've talked about this all along. Like, it's a shame we've lost Bedlam. We need these games. We need these traditional rivalries, I feel. I love that Washington and Washington State are still doing it. Oregon State are still doing it. As much as we've changed, like college football is what it is, and as great as it is kind of on the backs of rivalries. Like, we need to keep these traditional matchups.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more on that. And so there's an advantage for this Buckeye team being able to see this Washington team play on Saturday night and take it in. It's not too late. You can watch it, have your meal, and enjoy yourselves. Get some perspective on the week in college football and what we've learned so far with our good buddy Bill Bender of the Sporting News coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus. It's fall or autumn, as the losers like to say. What does that mean in the car world? That means places like Jermaine Lexus want to clear out all of their 2025 inventory to make room for the 2026 models. And for you, the customer, that means big savings. Take advantage of their lack of space with aggressive pricing. They also have plenty of L-certified vehicles on the lot for the fall collection sales event. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my friends. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Get Eco.
ECO. We come through for you when you need us to. Our scuba diving plumbers can do anything. Increase your water pressure. Give you unlimited hot water. Fix your drips and leaks. Soften your water so it doesn't leave spots. Install a whole house filter. Replace your shower heads and faucets so your house looks brand new. And provide you with winning lottery numbers.
Get Eco.
ECO. They cannot provide you with winning lottery numbers. I can. Tell us. 3, 21, 24, 34, 46. That's $103 million. Those numbers will be this week's winners? No, those were the winning numbers a month ago.
Get Eco.
ECO. But EcoFi Advantage is a guaranteed winner. For just $28 a month, EcoFi Advantage covers all 3 systems: plumbing, electrical, and HVAC.
Get Eco.
ECO. Scuba diving plumbers, genius electricians, and incredibly handsome HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and it's party time, baby, because the Grove City Smoking Hot Wing and Music Fest is back Saturday, October 4th at American Nitro. From noon to 9, you get wings, beer, live music, football on the big screen, and more. Don't miss the wing eating and bobbing for wings contest either. Ooh, veterans, military, and kids under 12 get in free. Get the tickets at AmericanNitro.com/wingfest. Presented to you by The Fan, Columbus Chamber, Brex Paving, Darby Dental, and Equipment Rental. Wingfest 2025, the ultimate fall kickoff. Don't miss it.
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, Get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. It's time to ditch the traffic jams and the rat race and take in that crisp morning air, the crackle of a warm campfire. With RCD RV's Fall Into Adventure Sale, you can. September 15th through the 30th, you can cozy up to incredible deals. Sale pricing on all remaining new 2025 models. And RCD has travel trailers starting under $12,995, as well as pre-owned motorhomes priced under $39,995. Visit one of our 3 locations, Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The uncle you never knew you had. The friends you kind of wish you didn't. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time to hide out on the Brian Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline conversation with our good buddy Bill Bender. It's sporting news, college football. Simple question. I'm curious your answer to it. Is there a great team in college football yet?
I think Ohio State's the closest thing, and I'm not pandering. Because of a defense that is allowing 5 points per game, has probably 4 first-round picks. I think just the emergence of Arvell Reese and Caden Curry on that defense that already had Sonny and Caleb and Matt Patricia calling the shots, and Julian Sands playing great, and Jeremiah Smith's still the best player in the country. So they're probably the closest thing, but they're not untouchable. Like LSU, Georgia, Oregon, Penn State, we'll find out next week. I mean, I think Ohio State's very good and has shown they're the most complete team so far.
Yeah, I'm where you are. I think they've looked the best so far, and I still think they have the highest ceiling. Who else that you've seen a couple of weeks in do you feel like could match? You mentioned a couple of them. Do you believe LSU and Georgia can get there? Penn State, Oregon, Oklahoma, for example, has been really good the first month.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, I picked Ohio State and Texas to play in the championship game, but Texas has got to figure it out on offense. It's beyond a concern at this point. I would put Georgia and LSU ahead of them. And if I was picking a championship game right now, it would be LSU, Ohio State. LSU's defense is nasty as well. They've got awesome linebackers. The thing with them, though, Bo, is the running game's not dominant. Garrett Nussmeier throws a bunch of passes. It's not necessarily efficient, but he's got them playing well on the defensive side of the ball. And they beat Florida and Clemson in the first 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Their resume certainly warrants that. You mentioned Texas. So I watched quite a bit of the UTEP game I've watched him the last couple of weeks, and I just feel like that he's hurt. I just feel like Arch has to be hurt. I know that Sark said he's not. And honestly, Bill, if he's not hurt, then I think it's a much more troubling proposition, because then it means that, I don't know if you've watched the last, it's like he has the yips a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point. If he's not hurt, I would ask Sark, if I was in one of those pressers, about the mechanics. Why do they look different than last year? It's like if you went out and switched your golf swing, I'd be like, what are you doing that differently for? Right. Why? And I think that's how I feel. We could pile on and say, I know both of our kids probably say the word mid a lot. You could say that Arch Manning is mid, but I just don't think that tells the truth. I think he needs more experience to be a little more accurate. And if he's not hurt, it's a mechanical thing that they've changed.
Yeah, and then that's troubling if that's the case. Then they got a much bigger problem on their hands. It's almost like if he's hurt, then okay, we can deal with that. But if it's a mental thing or a mechanical thing that's broken, that's hard to fix in the year, especially the way that their schedule is. What did you make of Dabo's comments this week about if you want to stop winning, get rid of me?
Unnecessary. You're 1-2, dig out of the hole in the ACC. It was Mike DeCourcy, my colleague, wrote a column. He had an excellent line in there about he didn't get that information from text saying we're praying for you, buddy. He reads the articles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course he does.
These coaches absolutely read the criticism, which they should. And I just thought it was unnecessary. We know Clemson's really good, but the point I would point out is since Ohio State beat them in the Sugar Bowl, they're 2-6 against top 10 teams, and the two is NC State and SMU. So are they? I think it's just maybe a realization they're not national championship good anymore.
No, and the crazy thing is what they've been the last 3 or 4 years is what Clemson was historically. It's really hit that outlier those years. It's interesting, too, you bring that up because you could argue that the start of the Clemson no longer being Clemsoning was beating Ohio State in that Orange Bowl after the 13 season, and maybe it ended with Ohio State beating them in 2020. I mean, it feels like, but that run there, that's the anomaly, is that run.
Yeah, and I still believe what he accomplished there is amazing.
Yes.
And it's not like they're out of the ACC picture. And really the difference between Clemson and being Notre Dame is Clemson still has the benefit of go 7-1 in conference play, go back to the ACC title, and win it. They did it last year. So Notre Dame faces a little bit different challenge because now they need USC to be good, and they kind of need Arkansas to be good. And I still think they could get in the playoff. I kind of mended what I said Saturday night, but it would take a lot more things breaking in their favor because of the strength of the SEC and the Big Ten.
I think they go 10-2, they're in for sure. And I think 9-3 is a conversation because I think to our original point about no great teams, I think you're going to have a bunch of teams with multiple losses this year, Bud. I just do.
So if they go 10-2 and Illinois goes 10-2, who do you put in?
You're making television shows, right?
Yeah, you're right. But so I'm trying to pinpoint Illinois' 2 losses. Like Illinois loses to Ohio State close somehow, and maybe loses to USC or Indiana. If you and I have always agreed on that part, though, that we are in the TV business.
Yeah. I think if you're ESPN, like, you know, you played pretty nice last year with ESPN with SMU in, and Ward Manuel kind of put his foot in his mouth with the whole, we're not punishing teams that lose in their conference championship games. And so they had to let them all in, but I don't know, they don't have to do that anymore. So my hunch is that you'd make the television shows that have the best chance to deliver the biggest audience. And in that instance, Notre Dame would be good. Speaking of television shows, there's going to be a pretty good one on Saturday night in terms of where Michigan is on Saturday afternoon, where Michigan is, Bill. But to me, what I think is more interesting, because I think Michigan's going to be fine, obviously, with Underwood, is Matt Rule finally got it. Does he? And I'm not saying Tommy Frazier, Lawrence Phillips got it, but has he got it back to where, okay, now we're a bowl team. We're going to get to 9 wins. He's got this window with Raiola where he's got to make a little bit of hay, doesn't he? This is a massive game in Lincoln tomorrow.
Great conversation with him earlier this week. I like Matt Rule a lot. I think he's done a nice job of what do you always call them, Bo? Like museum programs, and he's trying to make them not a museum anymore. He's restoring this, and year 3 track record's good. High energy guy, seems very personable. This is a big moment for them. If you and I were teenagers again, which would be great, but we would tell us, hey, Nebraska is going to lose 27 straight games against ranked teams.
Jeez.
If I would have told you that in 1995 and they're honoring that team this weekend, we would have looked at you like, no way. And I think this Michigan game is going to be very interesting. And also on the Michigan side, they played a little bit different with Bryce Underwood. They were way too conservative at Oklahoma. So cut your quarterback loose, let him make mistakes, let him learn from him.
I said the same thing about Michigan that I said about Ohio State after week 1 was saying. I said, I think he can take a lot more than they're giving him. And I feel that way about Underwood. I think he can handle a lot more than they're giving him. And do they unleash him? They're honoring 95 Nebraska.
I love showing Grant clips of Tommy Frazier. Just watching Tommy Frazier run. Yeah, Lawrence Phillips, Frazier, Corey Schlesinger. I mean, those teams were, and it's not that Nebraska anymore. But I think Matt Rule, it would be a stepping stone for them if they somehow beat Michigan on Saturday to show that what they're doing is progressing in the right direction. They did take Ohio State 4 quarters last year. They just didn't do it consistently.
It's funny, though, because up until you telling me that they are honoring 95 Nebraska, I had a good feeling about Nebraska. And now that they're honoring 95, it feels like they're ripe for falling on their face. I know how big it is for them.
Yeah, it's a big game. And then who knew, again, if we were having a teenage conversation, that we would say that's the appetizer for Indiana, Illinois. That's the main event in the Big Ten this week.
Is that an elimination game?
Well, we just talked about how we felt about Illinois if they had 2 losses, so maybe. And Indiana, you look at their schedule, they got to go to Iowa next week. They still got to play Penn State. They still got to play Oregon. So Kurt Cignetti's got his work cut out for him. One interesting stat for them, those teams, Doza and Altmaier have combined for 17 touchdowns, no interceptions. Now, we know what the competition's been, but it's going to be a highly entertaining game. I kind of like the Illini. I like what Brett has right now.
Yeah, I do too. And honestly, the way Cignetti is handling his future schedules, I'm anti-Indiana more than I'm anti-Illinois these days. So it's a fun weekend. No Buckeyes, but there's plenty to keep your eye on. Thank you for your perspective, as always, my great friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, anytime. I'll talk to you soon, Bo. Thanks so much.
All right, there he goes, the great Bill Bender of the Sporting News, joining us on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. What have we learned, and who has earned this so far in college football? We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Credit challenges, we got solutions. At Capital Florida, Columbus, and Whitehall, all credit types are welcome. Good, fair, poor, or none. Get approved fast and cruise away happy. Stop in or visit us online at capitalfloridacolumbus.com.
Shop the Meijer 2-Day Super Sale this Friday and Saturday and bring more savings to life with low prices on household items like buy one, get one free Arm & Hammer liquid laundry detergent. Buy one, get one free Ziploc bags. Lysol disinfecting wipes are just $2.99. And a 2-pack of Meijer paper towels is only $4.49. Low prices and huge savings at the Meijer 2-Day Sale. Now that's the good life. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! This is what the Buckeyes train so hard for.
Just like Valvoline Instant Oil Change, their techs train like pros to deliver expert service every time.
Wait, are we talking about football or oil changes?
Both. Whether it's the Buckeyes on the field or your car in the bay, it's all about preparation and precision.
Can't argue with that.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit VIOC.com/Buckeyes today.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling, and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you're a sports card fan like me, you've got to check out Midwest Cards in the Arena District, right outside Nationwide Arena. These guys are true collectors themselves, and they've built a shop that lets you experience card collecting in a whole new way. They've got sealed boxes, packs, single cards, signed memorabilia, and plenty of TVs in their lounge. Yeah, they have a lounge. And don't forget the card bar, where you can open packs while you have an adult beverage. It's awesome. Stop by Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Get the MVP, more value price from Coghlan Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Get 0% financing on a new 25 Kia Sorento or 3.49% on a new 25 Telluride. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Coghlan has the car for you.
Based on January to December 2024 retail sales, 0% for 48 months and 3.49% for 60 months equals $20.83 and $18.19 for 1,000 financed through Kia Motor Finance. Not all will qualify. All qualified manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 9/30/25.
I've been playing sports all my life. Little football, basketball, pickleball, cross training, mud events, Spartan races and things like that.
For Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor, staying active means everything. So when nagging knee pain slowed him down, he didn't want drugs or invasive surgery. He found a natural way to get lasting relief. QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies.
We're using my body's natural abilities to get better. And that's huge. In time, that's going to be the way of the future. Using your own body's ability to heal. Now I can play day to day and not have that severe pain.
Now he's back out there doing what he loves, thanks to QC Kinetics.
Life is good. You're not going to slow me down.
Leave the pain behind and get moving. Book your free consultation today with QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Did you know, right now, the time we are in, that is the best time of year to buy new windows? Yeah, whether you have old drafty windows or the cheap ones that came with your house, September is the perfect month to protect your home against cold, snowy weather. And let's be honest, it's going to get hot later next year anyway, so you want it for then too. Year-round savings with energy-efficient windows from Window Nation, that's one of the best offers they have. But now this month, they have an even better offer. Buy 2 replacement windows, get 2 for free. Plus, you won't pay any interest, monthly payments, or down payment for 2 years. And if you're a Buckeye fan, you've got another reason to buy, because Window Nation will give you 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game if you purchase a whole home full of windows. Trusted company, a reasonable price. Go Bucks. It's all there. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No interest, no payments until 2027. WindowNation.com or 866-90-NATION to get your free quote today. That's 866-90-NATION or WindowNation.com. Go Bucks.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
All credit types are welcome at Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall. From perfect scores to starting fresh, we'll get you driving. Shop our huge selection and leave in your new car today. Stop in or visit us online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. It's improvement week for the top-ranked Buckeyes. Ohio State's off tomorrow, the first of 2 bye weeks for the Scarlet and Gray. OSU will head to Seattle next Saturday to battle 2-0 Washington at 3:30. The Huskies are at Washington State tomorrow night at 7:30 for the Apple Cup. A pair of Big Ten teams in action Friday. Rutgers hosts Iowa at 8 o'clock. The Scarlet Knights are 3-0 on the season. In the NFL last night, the Bills beat the Dolphins 31-21 in Buffalo. Josh Allen threw 3 touchdowns and became the fastest player in league history to reach 300 total touchdowns. Week 3 continues Sunday with the Browns hosting the Packers. Hear that one on the Fan with coverage Sunday at 11. Bengals play the Vikings, same time in Minnesota. And it's week 5 of the high school football season. Westerville North hosts Delaware tonight at 7. Hear that one on the Fan with high school overtime to follow. Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran have scores and updates from around the area. This update sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour on a football Friday. Tim May coming up in 29 minutes from now. Time for a new segment we're calling Learned and Earned.
Bishop and Friends present Earned and Learned. What we learned this week and who's earned a drink.
Sponsored by Go Brewing. Visit GoBrewing.com/thefan and claim your buy one, get one free 6-pack of Go Brewing.
So let me just tell you, these flavors of Go Brewing, they're hitting home. They got the branding is incredible. The labeling's great. I see they got a Michelada in there that I'd suck down in a second and a half. It's a good job out of them.
I drank several of them last week on campus for Ohio State and OU. I'm getting older, and I love beer, but I don't love always how beer makes me feel.
Sure.
So these guys are great. I was drinking Go Brewing before I realized that they were fans of us. So
let's go.
Now they've sponsored a segment that has us asking what we've learned this week in college football and who's earned a drink.
I like it.
So we want your responses as well, because our favorite, similar to how we do Hey Guys at 971 BFS and on the YouTube chat, who in college football has earned a beer? If we like your nominee, you get a 6-pack from our friends at Go Brewing.
It's a win-win
for everybody.
For everybody involved. Everybody's a win-win. Yeah, so you want to hit them up on the on either the X platform at 971 BFS or in the YouTube chat, and we'll monitor that here over the next 10 minutes or so, and then pick a winner, and you're going to get the 6-pack there. So that's very nice. Good job.
I'll start because I think, and I don't know if Friday morning, obviously if it's a Go Brewing, Mario Cristobal can have a drink. I think the job that he's done with Miami now, when you thought, that they just needed a quarterback and they went and got Cam Ward, it didn't work out. Now they got Carson Beck. We're a little too early to figure it out, but when you have needs, unlike what James Franklin's done at Penn State, you go to the portal and address them. Now having that war chest is helpful. We'll see for the Hurricanes this week, I guess.
Yeah, they're in a spot hosting Florida, and we'll pick this one coming up at 11 o'clock where it's expected that they annihilate them. And that game, Miami, Florida State, Florida, and Florida State, those games matter so much in that state. And there's a massive amount of bragging rights with those three schools kind of against each other. So it's a massive game for Chris Paul. It feels right. It feels right for Carson Beck, too, what he's done early this season. I'll tell you who I've learned, who has earned and I have learned is Oklahoma and Johnny Mateer. Give Brent Venables some love, too. Here's the thing that I think makes this is why this is, to me, the story of the first month is Oklahoma and Mateer. And the reason for that, other than the Scarlet and Gray around here, obviously, but nationally, to me, they're the one that got my attention the most. I don't understand why they're still ranked 11th. I think they've played better than that. They got a big test with Auburn this week. Former quarterback coming back, all that comes with that. Johnny Mateer made Oklahoma football fun again. And it's probably been, last year was a struggle bus. Even Dylan Gabriel, he was so methodical with the way he goes about his business. Like, maybe just because he was there so long, but the infectious nature that Baker Mayfield played with at Oklahoma, and then Kyler had a lot of that too. He was that. There was some fun to watch in that operation. It feels like Oklahoma football is back with Johnny Mateer. I loved him in the portal and felt like he'd have a pretty big impact there, and he's even superseded what I thought was possible for him at OU in year one.
I was going to say, I think the player for me so far this college football season is Joey Aguilar at Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Boy, that looked like that looks like a win for Tennessee in that quarterback swap. This kid has come in, and I know they didn't win the game last week against Georgia, but he's thrown for 906 already, 9 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. He's completing 66% of his passes. The rise for this kid from App State, then going to UCLA, losing his spot because Nico comes in, and then he heads to Nico's old spot. I feel like Tennessee would not be nearly where they are right now, which I believe is a top 25 team, probably somewhere in that 15 to 20 range, if they didn't have Joey Aguilar.
Well, you want to stay in the quarterback transformational situations, get a six-pack to Tommy Castellanos at Florida State, too.
He backed it up.
Mike Norvell, both of those cats, man. Like, those dudes, he backed it up. He owned it. They dominated it. Their schedule is very, very navigable. It was an all-or-bust season for them for sure. They were off last week. They get Kent State this week, so they'll bury them. Then they're at Virginia next week. And then on October 4th, they host Miami. And if Miami handles Florida this week and both of those teams get to that game on October 4th in the top 6 or 7 in the country, which it kind of seems is very likely, my goodness, that one's going to have some taste to it. So, yeah, Miami's got a bye next week. So if Miami beats Florida Saturday, Florida State will have a Bobby Bowden, Jimmy Johnson, Butch Davis, Dennis Erickson feel to it. That'll be 2 top 5-6 teams. I can't even tell you the last time that's been the case for that rivalry. So, God, I hope it happens.
Chris in the YouTube chat says that Matt Patricia earned his beer this weekend over the first 3 games. Phil's agreeing with the Matt Patricia one. Craig jumping in with Matt Patricia having earned a drink this week. It's we got to know why. It's improvement week.
So you have 3 ties with Patricia. All there. That's all in the YouTube chat?
Yep.
So I got to know who gives you the best reason why.
Craig's is pretty good. He came to Ohio State that was spurned by the D-genius knowing Knowles and has built something better.
That's not bad.
It's pretty good. Jay Walken says, Eddie George deserves a drink. Bowling Green is 2-1 in a competitive league. A close-ish loss to Cincinnati, another MAC team that's easy to root for. Next week, you've got the Bobcats and the Falcons.
It's going to be really, if you're Eddie or any of these guys that are in the MAC, what do you want your program to be? My hunch is, like, if I were one of those guys at one of these MAC teams, so if I was Eddie at Bowling Green, I would probably say, you give me, is it too greedy to say give me 2 years?
No.
Just give me one great year. Give me one great year and I'll support you getting to someplace bigger. Because that's what those programs are right now. They're feeder programs for the bigger conferences. That's probably what I'd do. I'd say you give me a year or 2, ideally 2, minimum of 1, and I'll work my magic to get you to someplace bigger where you can profit from it, which is sad, but that's where college football is right now.
Chris says Brett Bielema's brought Illinois back from the dead and adds, frankly, he'd be the most fun to have a drink with.
He's a good dude. he's a fun dude. He's guy's guy. We were waiting to do wall-to-wall sports standing outside the Rose Bowl. It was me and Dom and Tim May and Moose and Timmy Flaherty and Mike Klug and all the guys at Channel 10 at the time, and we were waiting to do, I want to say, a Sunday wall. We were taping a Sunday wall after the Buckeyes beat Oregon in the Rose Bowl. That was the Jeremiah Masoli. It was the Terrell Pryor at his best game ever. And Bielema with his now wife was walking up to the Rose Bowl to just get a look at it. He'd never seen it. And so he was just walking up to it to get a look at it on a lazy Sunday. And then he came by and just chatted with us for a half hour about all of it. So despite the fact that I missed him and I loved him as an enemy, he was so good at Wisconsin. I just loved him at Wisconsin. And I don't know if Illinois, get well soon, Fish. I don't know if Illinois is a place where he can be consistently a pain in the neck. Interesting story this week in the Wall Street Journal about how he's building his roster too, with using some moms and some other things. So some pretty cool stuff there. But he probably that's probably fair. It's good to have him in the mix and running his mouth a little bit.
Is this a Zach Wilson way of using moms, Bo?
Yeah, I need more context on this one.
Different here.
Check out your Wall Street Journal this week. You'll see it. You'll see it.
Reese, we've got one over on the Twitter machine as well. Ryan chimes in. I'm going to Cheers a Glass with USC for now. We'll see what happens down the road. But for now, enjoy a drink, Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, they've been good.
Yeah.
It probably took them too long to be ranked. That would be one. If that game were 7:30, that would be on in my evening window. That one, I'd have the Apple Cup on one TV, and I'd have that one on the other one. But it's 11 o'clock.
Ugh.
USC Michigan State, 11 o'clock in Los Angeles, Saturday night.
Sorry, Sparty.
Brutal. All right, we probably need to pick a winner on this, Reese. Who do you who are you thinking here?
I love the idea that Brett Bielema is back in the Big Ten. So, Chris, I agree. The fact that Illinois has got a 9 next to their name.
Sure, yeah.
And Indiana this weekend. Yeah. Brett, cheers.
Indiana, Illinois, the biggest game on the Big Ten slate. Who would have thunk it?
I can't wrap my head around it. We'll try to. So we'll get, who's our winner there?
Chris in the YouTube chat.
Chris in the YouTube chat. So we'll get you your 6-pack from our great friends at Go Brewing. So you have that to look forward to, which is nice. Coming up next, get you set for a college football weekend. While the Buckeyes are not there are some massive games with big-time implications, not just in the playoff, but for conference supremacy and just are we back supremacy. We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus. It's fall or autumn, as the losers like to say. What does that mean in the car world? That means places like Jermaine Lexus want to clear out all of their 2025 inventory to make room for the 2026 models. And for you, the customer, that means big savings. Take advantage of their lack of space with aggressive pricing. They also have plenty of L-certified vehicles on the lot for the fall collection sales event. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my friends. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
The waterworks techs have heard it all. Screeching furnaces, dripping pipes, strangled garbage disposals, overflowing toilets. Did a spooky surprise catch you off guard? Who are you going to call?
No, not them. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222. We provide better care, better value, better results, and we'll take on any drain or heating and cooling nightmare to come your way. Happy Hello Waterworks.
Hey, it's Anthony. Tailgating, hiking stadium stairs, going out after the games. It's a great time of year. It's also the time of year I'm on my feet a lot. And there won't be a time when I don't have my personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store in my shoes. They make all the difference for me. They help my feet, my hips, my back. They're not just like regular insoles. They're designed so I get firm yet flexible function. They actually correct poor foot biomechanics and give me even more comfort. The fitting process is simple. From the moment you walk in, the Good Feet store will personalize the process. From the pain that brought you to them in the first place to your lifestyle needs. They'll properly measure your feet and arch size. Then take the free test walk. If you love them, wear them home like I did. Your new arch supports will help you begin living the life you love without your feet getting in the way. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City and learn more at goodfeet.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. And don't forget about our 29-degree drafts.
Matty Ice here. Football is back, and it also marks the kickoff to huge savings at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, you can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 with up to $12,000 off MSRP for qualified buyers. Just imagine riding up to your tailgate party in a brand new Silverado from McDaniel. And McDaniel GM Superstore has been family-owned and operated for over 100 years. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the ultimate OSU football insiders. You know, it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today.
The Ohio Lottery's new $5 scratch-off Win Big has a top prize of $100,000. And with the Ohio Lottery app, all non-winning tickets can be entered into a My Lotto Rewards second chance promotion to win Cleveland or Cincinnati football tickets, or even a trip to football's biggest game. And that's more exhilarating than a cooler of sports drink dumped on you. So exhilarating. Win big from the Ohio Lottery. A celebration waiting to happen. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We end the work week hot and with plenty of sun. Skies will be hazy as we do have an air quality alert in place. Daytime highs topping up in the upper 80s to low 90s. And then for tonight, mostly clear overnight with lows in the mid to low 60s. For Saturday, we could see a stray shower or storm in the afternoon. Otherwise, mainly dry with partly sunny skies and highs in the upper 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
It's Friday, and there's football. I shall call it Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for all things football. The Fan. If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are, and we're proudly sponsored by great friends at Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 78 years. Buckeye Jewelry starting at just $99. Go see my friend Sawmill, Easton, either one. They'll take care of you on that side of things. All right, we have a college football weekend this weekend that isn't quite the headline banger we've seen the last couple of weekends. First 3 weekends, we've had these massive top 10 matchups. First 3 weekends. We don't necessarily have that. But we do have a critically important weekend for several programs for myriad reasons. Some trying to make sure that they stay in the college football playoff mix, others trying to stay in a conference mix, others trying to just return to what once was. I think of that with the University of Miami and the University of Nebraska, both of those programs. Miami's obviously much further along than Nebraska, but they've been knocking at this door. Can they continue to head in that direction of getting that program back? In the words of Reese, is the U back? Maybe. We'll see. Hopefully that game with Florida State in a couple weeks is 2 top 10 teams that are hooking up in it. Let's play a quick guess the stats with you guys. Of the top 25 teams in the country, how many, without looking, do you think are Southeastern Conference representatives?
7.
I believe we had this last week, and it was 9.
Went up.
Okay.
Right now in the top 25, 12 of the 16 SEC teams are ranked.
Oh, boy.
I don't know, Jim.
12. Like, you sure? You sure? By the way, two of the teams who dropped out of the poll were South Carolina, who obviously is an SEC team. They dropped out of the poll. And then as soon as they drop out, you can't wait to reward Vanderbilt, so Vanderbilt moves in. The Big Ten has 7. 7 of the top 25 teams are in the Big Ten. For whatever reason, still, the SEC 3-0s get a level of respect that the Big Ten 3-0s don't get. It took forever. USC finally went into the top 25 last week. Nebraska is well down in the others receiving votes. They're not even really close. Michigan State can't get any love. Like, there are Big Ten teams that are undefeated that just they're not viewed the same way. And there still is, where the polling is concerned, a pretty wide SEC bias based on, those brands, and the idea being that if you go win at Tennessee, or if you are Vanderbilt and you beat South Carolina, which I don't know who decided South Carolina was going to be good. Feinbaum? Like, who just decided South Carolina was the number 10 team in the country?
I think it goes back to like our conversation at the beginning of the season, where they have a known commodity at quarterback and a darling coach, and preseason polls matter.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Because they didn't look at week 1. They beat Virginia Tech, but were really sluggish. Were bad the next week against South Carolina State, and then they get bombed by Vandy, and they finally move out. But so Vandy then gets rewarded for that, and they move all the way up to number 20 in the poll. There are 3, by the way. There's not a single group of 5 team ranked. So every team that's ranked is what is now group of 4, Power 4, I guess. 3 Big 12s and 3 ACCs. That makes up the 25. When Bill told me that, and shame on me for not seeing his story this week. That's a bad job out of me. I usually catch every single thing he writes. When he told me that Nebraska is honoring the 95 team, I just went, they can't have nice things. They can't. They've tried this before. I don't have any sort of proof of any of this. This is all just in my mind's eye and anecdotally. It feels to me like any time since the firing of Frank Solich, maybe Pelini had a few moments. It feels like certainly since the firing of Pelini, any time Nebraska tries to do anything nice in football, they're Charlie Brown and Lucy takes the football. You're going to honor 95 Nebraska? Get bombed. Going to wear black shirts the first time? Get bombed. Going to bring college game day to campus when the Buckeyes come to town? Get bombed. It just screams that Nebraska is not going to win against Michigan. And I think it's a massive game. I think it's a massive game for Matt Rule. It's not as big a game for Michigan. I mean, Michigan with Underwood is going to be more than fine. If you've seen him play, you know that they're going to be more than fine. My hunch is they'll unleash him a little bit more this week at Lincoln, especially because they did not get the result playing the other way at Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago when they took the L. But I will be rooting for Nebraska as big as possible, not just because it's obvious that I like to see Michigan struggle, but beyond that, because I think that if Rule can get it going, this was a double down in NIL. They have this window with Dylan Raiola, who I'll acknowledge is a little annoying with the Mahomes stuff, like all the mannerisms, the hair. It's more than a little annoying. He's a tough root for. I know he was committed here first, and then Georgia, then ended up in Nebraska. I know all of it, but it's a little tough to take. But I'm still rooting for them because I think it'd be great for this league. And I think for Rule, as you're trying to build something there, not to the level of this, but if you're just trying to get to like Iowa level, you're just trying to get to Washington level, you have to win this type of game to get to that point. And I think it'd be better for the league if they did.
It's such like a mental thing. It's such a mental hurdle for Nebraska, those players, that fan base to have to clear. And I almost feel they need to win this game with this exposure, honoring the 1995 team. Mm-hmm. They have to get over all of that. All of those demons have to be exercised like at the same time, or else they'll never able to return to what they want to be. And I don't know if that's achievable anymore for Nebraska in this current college football climate to be that, but to at least make their fan base feel like, oh, there's a chance for us. They have to beat Michigan with everything surrounding it, like you just said.
And with Nebraska, it's kind of like, if not now, is it going to happen? Like, are you going to get a Dylan Raiola? And who knows? I don't know if Dylan Raiola is any good or not, to be honest. I mean, he seems to be a pretty competent college quarterback here. But are they ever going to get a guy like Dylan Raiola at the quarterback spot again? Matt Rule seems to be a pretty good recruiter, and it's worked for him in college football when he has been in college football before. I just don't know.
I don't know.
They got to take advantage of it.
It's the question they got to answer.
That's the whole point. And because he's never, back to your point, he's never going to have this type of built-in advantage in recruiting again. Where the one of the best quarterbacks in the country's dad is a Nebraska legend whose uncle's on the staff. Like, you're never, those things are never going to be perfect stormed again. So for them, I mean, they would forget 95 Nebraska, forget Tom Osborne and Tommy Frazier and Eric Crouch and heck, Scott Frost as a player. Forget all of that. Black shirt defense, Mike Rozier, Lawrence Phillips, forget it. They would crawl bare-chested from Lincoln to here under 2 feet of barbed wire fence for what Bo Pelini was. This is Bo Pelini got fired for this. This is what Bo Pelini was. 9-4, 10-4, 10-4, 9-4, 10-4, 9-4, 9-3. He never won fewer than 9 games, and that wasn't enough for them. That was the legends and leaders days mostly. It did transition. Now, some of that's in the Big 12, too. But even in the Big 10, it was legends and leaders, and then it was into the West. But they went bowling every year. Never BCS bowling, but it's Gator Bowls and Holiday Bowls and Capital One Bowls. Those are quality bowls. They'd kill for that. Kill for it. And it's been a long time. So, to me, this is the biggest game Nebraska's had since the last time they had the biggest game since Nebraska's had. That's kind of where they're at. Indiana at Illinois, I feel a little weird about this because I do feel like it's punching below our weight class. I can't stand Cignetti. I can't stand him. I can't stand what he's doing. I respect it. I respect what he's trying to do over there. I respect the fact that he wins. I understand why you wouldn't want to play anybody in the non-conference because you're trying to get to 10 wins. I get it, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. And I never thought I'd be in the position where I'm rooting for Bielema and Illinois, which we all know how I feel about going to Champaign. But I will be on Saturday night.
This, of the games that you're going to pick at 11, this is the one I'm most excited to see where you fall, as Indiana is a 6.5-point favorite here.
Can I pick Purdue?
Well, they got Notre Dame.
I pick Iowa.
They got Rutgers tonight. The Hawkeyes do.
I might just pick this
as a different team.
I might pick it as a 4-4 tie. Indiana, Illinois.
Take that, Cignetti. Smoke on that
guy. I can't stand that guy. The SECs, the big one for them is Auburn at Oklahoma. Johnny Mateer and why am I blanking on the quarterback at Auburn who's returning to Oklahoma?
Jackson Arnold.
Jackson Arnold. I just was saying Jordan Travis, the former quarterback at Florida State. Jackson Arnold, 5-star kid returning to OU. He's been really good for Hugh Freeze at Auburn. And obviously the Gus Malzahn hire has worked so far. He's at Florida State. But the Hugh Freeze has worked out pretty well this year so far with Jackson Arnold. So we'll see how that goes with that one. And then the other one is just because I never went to a Florida Miami game, but I went to a lot of Florida State Miami games every year for 6-7 years, and I always wanted it to be a game that mattered the way that it did in the late 80s, early 90s, and even the late 90s. Maybe you can get that back if Miami can beat Florida this weekend in a massive game for Cristobal and the guys. Miami and Nebraska are similar. Both want to return to a bygone era. Both want to return to their greatness. Both were great in the 90s. Miami's way further ahead in that development than Nebraska is, but big weekends for both of those two programs. We'll get Tim May's perspective on all of this in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Did you know that Byers Airport Subaru is the oldest Subaru retailer in the entire country? And we're conveniently located right by the airport. We take pride in treating every customer like family because that's what's kept us around for generations. Right now, drive home a new 2025 Subaru Outback for 1.9% for up to 72 months. Start your journey today at ColumbusSubaru.com. Byers Auto, driving the next generation of buyers. Subject to credit approval. Financing offer term up to 72 months on 2025 Subaru Outback. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. See dealer for details. Offer ends 9/30/25.
25.
Script Ohio necklaces, Blocko earrings, Ohio State bangles, and more. You'll find an exclusive collection of luxury Buckeye jewelry you'll love at the Diamond Cellar, starting at $99. Show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
It's always a good day at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship. September 18th through 21st at the Scarlet Course. PGA Tour's rising stars compete, Pub 13 drink specials, and more. Get free tickets today at ncc-golf.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Drink recommendations, movie reviews, sports discussion, and whatever the hell Reeser does. This is Bishop and Friends.
It's a Friday at 10:30. Fridays at 10:30, we visit with our good buddy Tim May of the Tim May Show on FanStreamSports.com. And you will be on tomorrow with our buddy Matt Fontana, I believe, right? Is that correct? Do I have that right?
Anytime I can get on with one of Ron Burgundy's best friends, absolutely. 10-1 tomorrow. We're going to talk college football, I hope.
I'm going to be honest, Brian. That stuff's just a little Sex Panther. Just keep that going a little bit. Little Brian Fontana. I like it. Hey,
right.
Is there, I started the week with this. Is there a great team in college football right now?
Oh, man, that's a loaded question. I'm stammering. I'm hemming and hawing. I think I'll call that voter from, where's she from, San Jose, and ask her. No, I don't think there is. I mean, Ohio State's still got to come a ways, I think, for example, offensively, you know what I mean? And believe me, they're getting there. But, you know, we've seen one test so far, true test. Although I thought Ohio, you gave them more of a test in the red zone than they expected. Let's put it that way. And I saw a little bit of I saw a little bit of hesitation by Jillian saying in the red zone on a couple of 3 passes that, you know, could have been touchdowns. So, but he'll get that figured out. But no, I don't think there is, Bo, to answer your question. I mean, I think there are several teams. I think Ohio State's really good. I think Ohio State's super talented. Ohio State's as talented, if not more talented, than anybody in the country. But you know, I actually haven't eyeballed Oregon playing. They've been impressive from a score standpoint. But, you know, it's really funny when you look around the country right now and you see some of the people talking about the college football teams of 2025. Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon are near at the top of their list, right? With Georgia maybe in there. I got to see more of Georgia from a defensive standpoint because, you know, they kind of got lit up last week. Tennessee couldn't finish the deal per Tennessee. But I'm hemming and hawing and stammering because, no, I don't think there is a complete team, at least at this point. But, you know, we're 3 games into the season, at least in terms of Ohio State, and this team is only going to get better.
Yeah, I kind of came to the conclusion on Monday that this team is probably playing as good as anybody, and it's got the highest ceiling. The other ones that I mentioned were Oregon, and I do really like Oklahoma right now. We'll see. They got a big test against Auburn, so we'll see how that goes. And Penn State's done what Franklin always does. They just don't look as impressive as I think they should. But the point of all of this, I think, is I do feel like if a year ago you and I are having this conversation, and by God we may have, if I were to give you Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, and Georgia, or the field, you probably would have taken those 4. And this year, I feel like it could be like 12 maybe teams who kind of all are similar maybe. I just think it's going to be way more wide open here over the next couple months.
Yeah, people think I don't know what people really think of me. But
I love you. You're beloved.
I'm beloved. People think maybe I'm not. I really think Florida State, for example, is a great – they've remade their team. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now after watching them go toe-to-toe with Alabama and shove Alabama around. And I'm talking about both sides of the ball. I'm talking about their lines. You look at that and you go, wow, they did it the right way. And they went out and got a playmaker at quarterback. And then you look at Miami. You know about Miami. You've been around Miami for a long time, or were a long time ago. Those teams in Florida. I mean, Miami looks different. Miami sort of looks like that Oregon team that Mario Cristobal put together in 2021, but they got a better quarterback, and they play almost like a Big Ten team if you watch them line up. I mean, they're very physical. Their wide receivers block like demons. I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
They do, yeah.
When you think of Miami, you don't think of that, right?
Mm-mm.
And
no.
So there are these mystery teams out there, and a couple of them are in the ACC, which I think is really going to be interesting as this thing comes down to the nub. It's an interesting year in college football because this would be the year to expand to 16, I think, and be legit, and nobody gets a bye.
No, I'm with you. I would love. To me, 8. I was good with 2. I'm good with 4. I'm good with 8. I think after that it gets a little silly.
8.
8's a nice sweet spot. If you're going to do it, now's the time.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead and move to 16. That would just be two more games on campuses somewhere. Go ahead.
Right. Perfect. You've been to Lincoln several times since they've been in the conference. You know what that program was in a bygone era. It's been a long time. I think honestly they'd sign up for what Bielema did right now, basically 9-3, 10-4 every year. They got a massive one. It's a massive one for Matt Rule. They invested in the program. They got Michigan coming to town tomorrow afternoon. When you've been to Nebraska, what is kind of your perception of what that once very, very proud program expects out of its football team now?
The difference since Frank Solich left, they've been wandering in the wilderness, and been looking for the D in the word wilderness. Defensively, they have not been good, and I'm talking about on a consistent basis. So it looks like their defense is better. I know Matt Rule, I'm sure that was one of his main focuses, especially over the off season. You got to get the defense better. That's what's. I think Dylan Raiola is definitely. Dylan Raiola is definitely one of the top young quarterbacks in the country. Got to get it done on a consistent basis. But what they've been in search of these several decades, is their defense. I'm not sure that they would ever get back to the black shirts. But right now, the black shirts, if they call them that, it's kind of a farce until you prove it. And Saturday is a great. You should win this game. The way
Yes,
I look
you
at
should.
Nebraska, you're going against a freshman quarterback, and you're going against a Michigan team that still don't think is average. Let me put it that way. But they do have a interesting guy at quarterback. If they can get him to run, or if they can let him run, that could be the real difference maker on Saturday. But same thing with Dylan Raiola. Just make plays. But yeah, they've been in search of defense now for several decades, which has really kept them from getting back to where they were. But I think that's a lost cause, possibly. You've just got to, from the standpoint of getting all the way back to that.
Yeah, I agree.
When you're at Nebraska, I think you got to have a lot of razzmatazz and make plays on defense rather than shut people down on defense. If you follow my drift, because in this modern age, it's really hard to get those guys to go to Lincoln.
It is. And I remember Pelini saying that 15 years ago.
Yeah.
He's like, I got to get in a plane. We went there the first time Ohio State played there, and I knew you were in on those conversations too. And he's like, I got to get in a plane to recruit anybody. I can't drive anywhere.
Well, that's exactly right. But so did Bob Devaney, and Bob Devaney and them had those hookups on the East Coast and Texas in that area. however those hookups came, and I'm wink, wink, nudge, nudging, but how those came, they definitely had the hookups, and Tom Osborne continued through that. I mean, Tom Osborne, dude, you know this, mid-'90s. Nobody really wanted to play Nebraska, right? I mean, because they would just pound you. But something's been, especially since Solich left, they lost that recipe. And you remember, what is his name? Peterson, who was Ohio State's, Steve Peterson, their athletic director, who was once John Cooper's recruiting coordinator here at Ohio State.
Yes, right.
When he became athletic director, he tried to remake them into like a more exciting brand of football, bringing in Callahan from the NFL and all that stuff, and it did not work. And they have been lost since then from a defensive standpoint of getting back on that beam, and that's really been the difference.
If you had to bet the vast Tim May estate on either Bielema at Illinois or Cignetti at Indiana over the next 5 years, who would you put it on?
I'm going to put it on both of them.
No.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm torn. I would have to study it a little bit more. I'm telling you, Curt Cignetti. This may blow up my face as early as tomorrow, but Curt Cignetti clearly went in with a plan at Indiana. He didn't just show up, Yahoo! I'm in the big time now.
No, he didn't.
Came in with a plan, and they haven't played anybody this year yet, right? So it's hard for me to make this call. I think they've got an upgrade at quarterback, and I think they knew they had to get an upgrade at quarterback from, the Rourke kid was really nice last year, but boy, he hit his ceiling, right? Bielema has shown at Wisconsin what he can be. Does he have a ceiling, right? I think we saw his ceiling at Wisconsin. I don't know if you agree or not. But it was a good high ceiling. But I really like Cignetti. He is really his plan looks on point, and they seem to have been really good for 2 years now of upgrading through the portal and doing it in a smart way. Boy, that's almost a push when you ask me that, but I might go with Cignetti, man, because it's their NIL seems to be popping, but it's hard to argue with what Bielema's done, right? And
it is.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out about Indiana in the next 5 weeks. With that schedule they've got.
Well, yeah, and I think real quick, as we're talking about all this, I wonder, like, when Wisconsin fires Luke, which it feels like where we're inevitably heading, it hasn't gone well. Isn't the first call to Bielema just run it back?
It should be like,
right?
You've it should be. I'm trying to think of the homina they'd be saying to him on the phone. But you know what? Why can't you do? Well, he's showing you can do it in Illinois what he did at Wisconsin, and once you get something kind of rolling, I think you kind of, if it's a lateral move, that would be at best a lateral move. I don't know if you agree.
I don't think it used to be, but I think he's kind of turned it. I think Wisconsin's the better job, but he's done a nice job.
I don't know, man. Wisconsin's an interesting place anymore. It's an interesting town.
Yeah.
But Illinois, I mean, it's Illinois, has some alums that can really pump that thing up if they really get it rolling, and I think they already have to a certain extent. So I think that's almost a push anymore. I keep using that word push because that's the best way of describing it. I mean, but clearly Wisconsin has done it before. They should be able to do it again. Illinois had a long time since the 80s when they were doing it, and maybe early 90s, mid 90s. But he's got something going there. You got to admit that.
He does. And I think I think everybody always waiting for him to go back to Iowa too, but that might not be as good. He maybe turned Illinois into a better job. I don't know. It's
you're sitting there in a big state you're sitting there in a big state that's got a pretty nice football played up in the northeast corner of it in that area and stuff. And I know state lines don't mean what they used to by any stretch when it comes to recruiting or limits on your recruiting. But I don't know. It's like that's a good quandary that he might have to, or conundrum that he might have to actually deal with. I'm hoping the best for Luke, but man, it just doesn't seem to be a fit there. I don't know if you agree.
It wasn't a fit when he took the job, and it hasn't been.
Notre Dame, man. If he could have just
Yeah.
You could have just taken the call and said, okay, I'll be there on January the whatever.
Give me a month.
Yeah, give
All
me
right,
a
buddy.
month to see it through. Yeah. By the way,
do
I'm
it
going to
again
be
soon.
watching I'm going to be watching my football and grandkids this weekend,
Let's
so I'm
go.
looking forward to it. All right, man.
Enjoy it, buddy. We'll do it
Always
again
a
next
pleasure.
week.
You know that, Bo. See
All
you.
right, there he goes. Tim May of the Tim May Show, and right here on the Fan, joining on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll do a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well loved. And well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Everyone deserves a great car, regardless of credit. At Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall, we say yes to all credit types. Explore our selection, get financed in minutes, and own the road. Stop in today or visit us online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes. People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Your credit doesn't define your ride. Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall approves all credit types, good, bad, or rebuilding. Get behind the wheel today. Call 614-861-7150 or apply online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
The Fan 2 is on the air. Catch the Bob and Tom Show in the morning and Jim Rome in the afternoon. And Buckeye stuff and Reds 2 in the NFL. It's lots of stuff. You get the picture. It's the Fan 2 live on 1460 AM, the Fan app, and the Fan's HD2.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on 6-ounce packages of raspberries or blackberries. They're only $1.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30, no payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Our Top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, it's time for a little thing or not a thing on a Football Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
This flew under the radar a lot last week because it's football season, but Wofford College fired head men's basketball coach Dwight Perry and associate head coach Tyser Anderson. No reason was given at the time for the dismissal.
Okay.
In his second season with Wofford, so this was last year, Perry led the Terriers to the NCAA tournament after winning the Southern Conference Tournament Championship. On 3 reported Thursday, 6 Wofford basketball players have now been deemed ineligible by the NCAA due to a communications issue involving off-campus housing that ultimately resulted in the firing of those 2 coaches. The report says the 6 players were informed in the summer of 2025 they would be put in upperclassmen dorms at Wofford, which include ensuite bathrooms.
Right.
Instead, they were put in underclassmen dorms, which do not.
Okay.
The lawyer for the players, because now they've got lawyers, told On 3 that Wofford staff asked them if they wanted to keep their current dorm assignment or rent an apartment off campus and pay for it themselves. They chose the latter, getting the off-campus apartment, and Coach Anderson properly informed school administration of their plan.
Okay.
The lawyer alleges 5 days after classes began, the players were forced to break their lease to remain eligible, which they did on September 3rd. Then on September 17th, they were told by the NCAA they would be ruled ineligible for using their meal plan while living off campus, which had never been discussed with them previously. The alleged impermissible benefits, in this case, the school-provided meal plan, ranged from $84 to $108. The NCAA says it's not accurate. The NCAA did not suspend student athletes at this school and did not take any action against any athletic department personnel at the school. Thing or not a thing?
Okay, so my initial thing is it's Wofford, not a thing. I'm trying to... There's a lot there. What is the... So what do we know what they're fired for? Because... do we have an answer to that? Like, why did we fire the coach?
So On 3 has the report.
Yeah.
That they were fired because of this.
But
the NCAA says that your players...
because the players used funds for the meals? I mean, over $100? Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
Well, that's just stupid. That's what that is. Like, you want to fire somebody. I mean, I assume there has to be more to this than this, because this is utter nonsense. I mean, there must be more. When you started all of this, my hope was that at the end, or not my hope, but my thinking was at the end it'd be something tied with gambling, because this just doesn't seem like it fits.
Right now we're in the he said phase of this, where the lawyer for the players, because again, they've lawyered up, they are pushing for the 2 coaches to be reinstated before the season. Because right now they can enter the transfer portal. And they're alleging all of this. That we were told one thing, and then the school came back to us and said no, and now we're getting the NCAA's coming in saying, impermissible benefits. You got to do something, Wofford.
There's no such thing as impermissible benefits anymore. It's over. That just seems silly.
So this all seems ridiculous. It seems crazy that these kids, for one, would be penalized for that little amount of thing. This reminds me of the, you've got condiments on your hamburger, or you got a spread for your bagel, and that's not allowed. We can buy you the bagel, but we can't buy you the extras. Kind of ridiculousness here. Bo, I'm with you. There definitely sounds like there is more to this than meets the eye. I'm actually been trying to find here the Wofford's record the past couple of years in basketball, and thinking maybe, hey, this is just an easy way to get this coach out of here. Like, we don't want this guy anymore.
They made the tournament.
It's not going the way it is. So, so I don't know. There's got to be more to this story. It can't just be $84 to $100. Like, there's got to be more to this.
They got a great logo. I'm a big fan of that logo they got there, the Terrier logo. I like that one.
The Big Ten released men's and women's basketball schedules Thursday. Ohio State's going to play on the road against Northwestern and at home against Illinois for the first two Big Ten opponents on December 6th and then the 9th, respectively. That's after the first 6 non-conference games. Ohio State will then go west on January 8th and 11th when it plays at Oregon and at Washington. This is the biggest part for me here. The Buckeyes play Michigan twice this upcoming season, on the road January 23rd and then back home February 8th. They'll also play home and homes with Penn State and Wisconsin. They've got Michigan State, Maryland, Iowa, Oregon, Northwestern, Washington on the road. They'll host Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, Nebraska, Purdue, UCLA, and USC at the Schottenstein Center. They'll tip the regular season against the Indiana University of Indianapolis at Value City Arena November 3rd. Thing or not a thing?
Who are the 3 teams you think Ohio State should play home and away every year in basketball?
For me, it's Michigan, Purdue, and Wisconsin.
Oh, wow. I'm curious. Who do you got, Bake?
To me, it's Michigan, Michigan State, in either Wisconsin or Indiana.
So it's funny. I'm more aligned with you, Bake. I think they have to play Michigan, Michigan State, and Indiana.
Yeah, that's probably the right 3.
Those are the 3 for me. Look, I get where Reese is coming from, because some of the most fun you had watching Buckeye basketball was probably when Thad and Bo were going head-to-head with Ohio State and Wisconsin. And there's some Illinois talk, too. I mean, the Matty Sylvester shot, all of that. But I think the jumping-off point is you should play Michigan and Michigan State every year. Like, those are locks. And I think Indiana, to me, feels like it. To me, Indiana feels like it's more important than playing Illinois or Wisconsin. Those are the others that are in Purdue. They're in that conversation. But the idea that, the Big Ten with the schedules, man. And aren't they going to an 18-team? Did I see that too? 18-game tournament.
So they announced 18 teams will make the Big Ten tournament. In the graphic, they only had 16 teams in the bracket. Or 16 places for teams, which graphic design's their passion, I guess.
Listen, this
content, money, black go away over and over.
This schedule for the Buckeyes is nice. It's very ambitious. I like what they're doing. I hope that Jake Diebler can get this thing on the right path here. The one thing I hate, though, about this schedule with the Big Ten being so big is you don't get to see conference foes for the most part twice a year like you used to. Yeah. And I hate that. I don't like that.
So I said they should just take in the whole Pac-10 and have a West Division and an East Division and play your own and have a couple of crossover games. That'd be every television partner would love it. We'll play a little Know the Scores here in the final hour of the program coming up next. Doug Lesmeries coming up at 11:30. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The 2 most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
The pervert and the skivvies.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you're a sports card fan like me, you've got to check out Midwest Cards in the Arena District, right outside Nationwide Arena. These guys are true collectors themselves, and they've built a shop that lets you experience card collecting in a whole new way. They've got sealed boxes, packs, single cards, signed memorabilia, and plenty of TVs in their lounge. Yeah, they have a lounge. And don't forget the card bar, where you can open packs while you have an adult beverage. It's awesome. Stop by Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Get the MVP, more value price from Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Get 0% financing on a new 25 Kia Sorento or 3.49% on a new 25 Telluride. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
Based on January to December 2024 retail sales, 0% for 48 months and 3.49% for 60 months equals $20.83 and $18.19 per 1,000 finance through Kia Motor Finance. Not all will qualify. All qualified manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 9/30/25.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The water's standing in the tub. My toilets will not flush. The smell's getting bad in here. I need help in a rush.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
IKEA is celebrating 40 years of making home dreams possible in the U.S. Visit us in store September 3rd until the 23rd for limited time offers and experiences like our Ortianta streetwear collection, our new Tilvercott furniture, daily chances to win gift cards, and more. Come celebrate 40 years of meatball-fueled shopping Think brave attempts at our Swedish names and the inexplicable need for stylish modern design. Offer valid September 3rd through September 23rd, 2025. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary. See store and ikea.us.com for details. Restrictions apply.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.
For years, you've been hearing us talk about the Newman Roofing difference, delivering nothing short of an excellent customer experience each and every single time, from the first phone call to the end of your project. But don't take our word for it. Take a listen to our friend John and his Newman Roofing experience.
Well, the first thing that drew me to Newman Roofing is the extraordinary Google score of 5.0. That was the first indication to me that this was going to be a good experience. Overall, the experience with Newman Roofing was wonderful. When I came home, the job was completely finished. The crew had cleaned up and left. I wouldn't have known that they were there.
What star rating would you give Newman Roofing on Google?
I would, without hesitation, award Newman Roofing a 5-star rating on Google.
Any advice for those looking for a new roof, John?
Once you have contact with Newman Roofing, you'll understand why everybody's giving them a 5-point rating.
Do what John did and schedule your free roof or siding consultation with Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online today at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. It's time to ditch the traffic jams and the rat race and take in that crisp morning air, the crackle of a warm campfire. With RCD RV's Fall Into Adventure sale, you can. September 15th through the 30th, you can cozy up to incredible deals. Sale pricing on all remaining new 2025 models. And RCD has travel trailers starting under $12,995, as well as pre-owned motorhomes priced under $39,995. Visit one of our 3 locations, Delaware, Heath, Pataskala. Shop online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reese. 2 weeks left in baseball's regular season. Guardians have 10 games to play and find themselves a game and a half out of the final AL wildcard spot. Cleveland's at Minnesota tonight at 7:10, looking to push their win streak to 8 games. Guardians swept the Tigers on Thursday and are only 3.5 back in the AL Central. As for the Reds, Cincinnati has 9 left on the schedule. Redlegs shut out the Cubs 1-0 Thursday. Both teams are back at Great American tonight at 6:40. You can hear that game over on the Fan, too. That's 1460 on the AM dial. Reds are only 2 out of an NL wildcard spot. In college football, Ohio State's on the bye this week. Buckeyes are at Washington next Saturday at 3:30. A pair of Big Ten teams in action Friday. Rutgers hosts Iowa at 8 o'clock. Greg Schiano's squad's 3-0 on the season, and it's week 5 of the high school football season. Westerville North hosts Delaware tonight at 7. You can hear that game right here on the Fan. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, voted best credit union 7 years in a row by CBUS Top Picks. Visit bmifcu.org.
The best hair on the air. You are listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a Football Friday edition of the program. Coming up right now, we will attempt to know the scores.
It's time for Know the Scores on Bishop and Friends.
As you heard in the update, week 4 of the college football season finds the Buckeyes on improvement week. No game for Ohio State, but you guys, I would say, are rounding into form.
It's a shame.
Oh, boy.
So we both went 5-6 last week was tough.
But overall,
NFL and college was tough for your Uncle Bo last week. We're off to a good start this week, but
they've been on the number.
Sheesh.
Goodness, even last night, right?
Right.
11.5, 10.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
We'll start tonight in the Big Ten, but both of you, yes, 5-6 last week. Baker, 19-14 overall. Bo, 18-15. Week 4 begins tonight in Piscataway. Iowa is a 2.5-point favorite at Rutgers.
2.5. Rutgers is 3-0. Iowa just has the one loss to Iowa State. Rutgers is 3-0 in part because of a really gutsy play against Oregon. Iowa, I mean, they played Albany week 1, then they had UMass, and then the loss, of course, in the game against Iowa State. Rutgers, close, and then they've played. Stay away from this one, kids. That's my advice. I'm gonna roll with the Schiano man. And Rutgers winning at home at night in a game that they'll be very excited for. So give me the Scarlet Knights beating the Hawkeyes at home tonight.
It's really hard because Iowa, those games, usually there's not enough points to give points in those games. You almost always have to take them. I'm not, though. Iowa gets it done.
Oh, baby.
Barely. Iowa 20, Rutgers 17.
Yeah, there's no... That's the most Iowa score of all time, -2.5. Yeah. I mean, this is... I got it. I'll go specific. I got Rutgers 16, Iowa 15. Tough one. Tough watch.
Saturday at noon in Madison, Wisconsin is a 9.5-point favorite hosting Maryland.
I don't know if Wisconsin is good enough to be 9.5-point favorites over anyone. I mean, I don't think any game is a guarantee for Wisconsin anymore. I think they get it done, but only by 7 points. Wisconsin 31, Maryland 24.
I see it the same way you do. I like Wisconsin winning. They're not beating anybody by 10. I'd be shocked. Certainly not a Big Ten team. Maryland's fine, but Wisconsin's got some bigger problems. I got Wisconsin winning. I think it's ugly, 21-17.
Your big noon kick is in Salt Lake City. The 16th-ranked Utah Utes are 3.5-point home favorites against number 17 Texas Tech, Bo.
Yeah, I feel bad for the good folks in Salt Lake City that this is a 10 a.m. local time kick on this. That's pretty brutal. That's wake-up football is kind of what that one is. I think Texas Tech, though, and I really like Utah, not as much as Bake does, but I really like Utah this year. They've been really impressive. I think this is what Texas Tech's been waiting for, though, and I get a couple of points, too. Wouldn't surprise me if this was like a crazy shootout, 41-38, something like that. But I think Red Raiders and all that money get it done out in Salt Lake City. I think they win a close, fun game, 38-37, Texas Tech.
So it's funny, Bo, that you said the score that you did. Oh, yeah? Because on my paper,
come on,
I have Utah 41, Texas Tech 38.
Jeez. So same but different.
Same but different, but yeah. Texas Tech covering.
Texas
both
Tech
of us.
covering. It's going to be close. I think it could be a really fun game.
That's why we say pay attention to the scores. Saturday at 3:30, number 11 Oklahoma is a 7.5-point home favorite against number 22 Auburn.
I really love this game. I love the way Auburn has played so far. Oklahoma has lived up to the preseason hype that you and I gave them, Bo. I just think Jackson Arnold is going to be really motivated for this game. You guys said I wasn't good enough. You brought in this guy who's playing well. I think Oklahoma wins, but I think this is a hell of a game. Oklahoma 31, Auburn 27.
So same. I think it's the hook that brings me back, and so that's why I got Auburn. I think Oklahoma wins the game too. I think they win by 7. I think it's a lot of fun. Wouldn't surprise me if it was something like 38-31, something like that. I had it at 31-24, something like that. So it'll be just inside, but I'll take War Eagle to cover, OU to win.
3:30 in Eugene. This game will be on the Big Ten Network. Tyvis Powell is going to be doing the Big Ten tailgate outside of Autzen Stadium. Jake Butt's going to be on the call for the Big Ten Network. He'll join us Monday at 11:30. But it's the 6th-ranked Oregon Ducks, 34.5-point home favorites against Oregon State in the Civil War.
They hate each other. There's a level of hate in this one that you can feel it. And Oregon is really good. They covered the first 2 weeks. They didn't last week at Northwestern, but this one will be personable. This will be one of those ones where Lanning is up. He might be up 28 or 35 in the fourth and just keep burying them. And Oregon State is brutal. They're bad. It breaks your heart because they just built a new stadium. They just rented. I mean, they put a ton of money into the program right as the Pac-12 thing happened, and they're going to be in big trouble financially. So I feel bad for them, but Ducks by a billion.
Yeah.
77-20.
This is a big number, right? But I don't think Oregon cares. I know they didn't cover last week against Northwestern. Oregon 45, Oregon State 6.
At 3:30 in Lincoln, one of several Memorial Stadiums that's going to see some big action this weekend, Nebraska is a 1.5-point home dog to number 21 Michigan.
So I don't think there's a lot of offense in this game. I think it's pretty low scoring, all things considering. I do think Nebraska keeps it close, but I don't think they keep it within a point. Michigan 24, Cornhuskers 20.
I'll be damned if I'm going to pick Michigan to win on this program. I'm admittedly nervous because of honoring the 25 team, or 95 team. That makes me very nervous because I just feel like Nebraska can have nice things. But damn it, Matt Rule, put a game plan together, get a win. Michigan doesn't have their coach, for crying out loud. Get organized, handle your business, give the Cornhuskers folks something to be happy about on a college football Saturday in September for the first time since God knows when. Give me the Huskers. I'm with you. I think it's ugly. 18. Huskers 18, Michigan 17.
They don't have a coach. They might have they don't have their head coach, Michigan. They might have a better one in Biff Poggi.
You just wanted to say Biff Poggi.
I got to keep it up because I kept saying Poggi for the longest time. And so for my pronunciation, because of Angelique Chingalis correcting us on it, I want to get it right because it does feel that if Sharon Moore's missing game one next season, it'll be the Biff Poggi experience in Germany. Get a GoPro on that one.
I feel like there's some kind of Pudgy joke in here somewhere.
But we shouldn't make that because we're not going to fat shame people on this program. Saturday at 7:30, Miami is a 9.5-point home favorite hosting Florida.
Man, in this game, did I just jump on you, Bo? Is that you're supposed to go first? No, go.
You're right. You can have it.
9.5 feels like a lot, but Florida's garbage. I've been saying it all year. They're overrated. Miami 31, Florida 17.
See it similarly. I also think this one's personal, too. They recruit the same players. This is financially, they're going head-to-head on guys. There's been discrepancy between players. I think it's personal for Cristobal. And I think, quite honestly, Florida's broken. Legway threw 5 picks last week. 5. They've got big problems at the University of Florida. I got Miami winning pretty comfortably, 34-13.
7:30 tomorrow night in Bloomington. Number 19 Indiana is a 6.5-point home favorite, hosting number 9 Illinois.
What am I missing? What am I missing here? 6.5?
I don't like that either.
How is the 6.5? I mean, that just makes me feel like somebody knows something. It's kind of like the Buffalo thing last night. I just don't understand. 6.5. Who's not taking Illinois in this? I don't get it. It just seems like it's way too big. I'm just going to roll the dice and say they made a mistake on this one. I think Illinois can win this game. Wouldn't be surprised if they did. This is certainly screams 15-14 or 15-16. So to hell with it. Give me the Illini to win outright, 16-14.
So, Bo, I am with you in the fact that what does Vegas know that I don't hear?
It's weird.
And usually that means I should go that way, but I'll be damned if I'm jumping off my conductor seat on the Illinois bandwagon.
That's right.
I think it's higher scoring, though, than you, Bo. Illinois 31, Indiana 28.
Apple Cup in Pullman tomorrow night at 7:30. Washington State is a 20.5-point home dog to the Huskies of Washington.
Another rivalry game.
Yep.
They don't like each other. That's a lot of points, though. I don't care. Washington gets it done, 42-13.
Yeah, I think if this were 21.5, I'd feel a little differently on it, but I think the 20.5 makes you feel pretty good. I think it's competitive for half, and I think whatever Washington State's best is, they'll give it to you. But I think in the end, Washington, you have to remember in these type of rivalry games where it's personal, do you bury a little in the fourth quarter if given the opportunity? And I think Washington does. I think it's close for a lot of it. Washington pulls away 42-21, so I think it's right on the number.
Final game on this slate for us with scores Saturday at 11 o'clock in Hollywood. Number 25 USC is an 18.5-point favorite hosting Michigan State.
It's too much. I think it's just too many points. USC wins. I think it'll be very similar to their game against Purdue last week. They beat them 33-17. Michigan State's better than Purdue, but it's at home, and the time's weird for Sparty. But I got Sparty in Cover City. I got USC winning this one 34-17.
So, Bo, you mentioned their game with Purdue last week, and they won 33-17. I think Michigan State is a way better team than Purdue. And in fact, Bo, there's every part of me that says Sparty pulls the upset, especially with USC looking ahead to number 9 Illinois, number 21 Michigan, and number 24 Notre Dame. Their next 3 games, I'm a chicken, though. USC 31, Michigan State 30.
This is Agamemnon against the what was it, Perseus? Who's the Trojan leader?
Yes, Perseus sounds right, but I think that's Orlando Bloom's character.
Yeah. So but that's what you got there. Is you get a little bit of that, side of it in the ancient
he's the
battle.
weenie one, yeah.
Watch out for those Achilles. It could happen at any point, kids, in that game. Anytime you can work in a little history, even if it's mythical history, it's a win. I'll get you set for your NFL weekend. That is coming up next. Doug Lesmeries coming up in 16 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
The football season now stretches from August to late January, and we can't afford not to be at our very best all season. Hey guys, it's Eric Reeser, and if you're like me, looking at the calendar wondering how you're going to stay at 100% for the next 5 months, do what I did. Go see my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa. I went to their Grandview location, got hooked up with a fast vitamin push that's got me feeling better than I have in years, and the NAD Plus has me thinking better too. From IV to aesthetic treatments, look great, feel great at Hydrate Me Med Spa. 4 locations, Grandview, Granville, New Albany, and Dublin. Book your appointment at hydratememedspa.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Ford versus Ferrari. It's the ultimate showdown, and it's coming to Valley Ford of Columbus. Experience the thrill of Ford GTs and Ferraris for your up-close viewing at the Ultimate Car Show tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. Everyone's invited to marvel at these iconic machines and enjoy live music and food trucks. Show off your special car, too. All makes and models are welcome. Register at the show or online, valleyfordofcolumbus.com. It's the official dealership of Carnell Tate. Be there.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Wake up and laugh with the Bob and Tom Show on the Fan 2.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
It says here they've won 5 Marconi Awards. I can't even spell Marconi. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Bob and Tom Show.
The Ohio Lottery's new $5 scratch-off Win Big has a top prize of $100,000. And with the Ohio Lottery app, all non-winning tickets can be entered into a My Lotto Rewards second chance promotion to win Cleveland or Cincinnati football tickets or even a trip to football's biggest game. And that's more exhilarating than a cooler of sports drink dumped on you. So exhilarating. Win big from the Ohio Lottery. A celebration waiting to happen. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We end the work week hot and with plenty of sun. Skies will be hazy as we do have an air quality alert in place. Daytime highs topping up in the upper 80s to low 90s. And then for tonight, mostly clear overnight with lows in the mid to low 60s. For Saturday, we could see a stray shower or storm in the afternoon. Otherwise, mainly dry with partly sunny skies and highs in the upper 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
Have you already started your tailgate? Us too. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. After putting up with Tom Tiberi for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Bo these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
Doug Lesmeries coming up in 10 minutes. Get you set for the NFL weekend that will be. But first,
I love beer. You love beer. Yeah, but you don't always love how beer makes you feel. At least I don't. Eric Reeser here for our friends at Go Brewing. Award-winning non-alcoholic beer that actually tastes like beer. Any style of beer you want, they have a great tasting, less filling NA selection. Try it for game day. Mix in a Go Brewing NA beer. I bet you feel better the next day. Visit GoBrewing.com/thefan for free beer. When you buy 2 6-packs of Go Brewing from Kroger, you'll get reimbursed for one of them. Reach for Go Brewing on game day. Find Go Brewing in the beer aisle at your local Kroger. I'm going to have several Go Brews this Sunday as I watch my professional football team play the professional football team from Green Bay. Several. I'm going to need it because I also need to be at my best for Monday.
I'll tell you what, they're I'm very intrigued by this salty lime AF Chelada.
That's their best one, in my opinion.
That one I'm very intrigued because that's a bloody beer, kids, is what that is, except it's without the alcohol. But that would be my sweet spot right there. Have you had that one, Reese?
Oh, I have a great many of them in my fridge as we speak.
So that's the essentially very similar to like the bloody beer recipe that I have. They got a pumpkin one here, a baller melon pale wheat. They got a lot. The branding's awesome on this.
The other day I did the Chelada and I had a tahini rim.
Oh baby,
that was spicy.
I'm going to tell you something. Throw a little celery salt on that sucker next time around. That's a real treat. That's real nice. All right, look, this is from the Browns' perspective, the team you're going to be watching on Sunday. This is as brutal a start to the season as you can have. You get the Bengals at home, then you get Baltimore in a bad mood following a loss to Buffalo that, from Baltimore's perspective, never should have happened. Then you get what I think is the best team in the NFL right now coming to town. Then you got to go to Detroit. Then you got to go to Minnesota, in London, then Pittsburgh. That's where you're at right now if you're the Cleveland Browns. And so you want keys to victory for the Browns in Green Bay? It's a tough needle to thread. The bare minimum to entry to have a conversation about trying to win the game is they're going to have to run the ball, and they're going to have to be plus in special teams. They haven't run it yet. In fact, Quinshon Judkins on his 61 yards, I want to say 54 of those yards came after contact. That's not good. And that's been something that's been there through the first 2 weeks for them. And then the special teams have been a mess. They've been a negative on special teams all season long. So both of those things are problematic. The other thing is they have got to find a way to protect Joe Flacco, and he's got to make better decisions when he is protected. Here's offensive coordinator Tommy Rees on just that.
Yeah, they create pressure with the front they have. It's an excellent front seven, excellent front four. Linebackers do a nice job in their blitz. I've coached against half, in college when he was at BC, and he's done a great job since then of, really utilizing disguise, really utilizing ways to attack your protection plan. So he does a great job putting those guys. Obviously, they get a big trade here right before the season, which helps create the pressure. So, protecting the quarterback is really a job of all 11. It's the receivers being on time. It's the quarterback taking the proper footwork. It's the backs or tight ends in their protection work. It's the line being able to sort through calls. So we definitely have a challenge with this front. They do a great job both in their plan and they have really, really good personnel up front and across the board. So it's going to take our entire group to protect the quarterback, and it takes the quarterback also to protect the quarterback. So we look forward to the challenge and putting our players in a position to have that success.
What was the number on this yesterday when we picked it? Was it 7.5? I should have it right here.
That sounds about right.
It is 7.5 for the Packers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that line kind of reflects how competitive Cleveland's been the first 2 weeks. The score doesn't look competitive in Baltimore, but you've got interceptions, you got a blocked punt happen in there too that led to things. Defensively, they've been one of the best teams in the league. The challenge for them is, can they muck it up enough to not let Green Bay get out to it? Because if you have to chase it, that's where the problems are coming for Cleveland, and they don't. So they have got to establish the run. My hunch is you will see a heavy and steady dose of Quinshon Judkins. Now, this is one of the best run defenses in the country, or in the league, so it's not going to be easy. But my hunch is what Cleveland will try to do offensively is Judkins left, Judkins right, Judkins left, and rinse and repeat, and then play action off of it.
You just keep them off the field, I think.
That's their best hope.
They and Buffalo are the two teams I don't think you can chase. I think everybody else might be, you can chase them if you found yourself trailing by a score, maybe 10 points, but not the Packers.
You're right, and what's weird about that is that Baltimore isn't on that list, and they shouldn't be, because people have come back on them, right, and they should be the most unchaseable team in the league with those two guys. Once they get ahead, it should be curtains, and it's not. You can come back. Good teams can come back on Baltimore, but yeah, you let that pass rush get their ears pinned back and look out. By the way, speaking of this, Tommy Reese was referencing Jeff Hafley, of course, who we loved when he was here and then went to Boston College. He's been great at Green Bay since. He is going to be a head coach after this season in the National Football League. His plan worked. He bet on himself. He was under no pressure to leave Boston College. They loved him. But he saw the writing on the wall in college football, and he said, I can't win the way that I want to at Boston College to get the type of job I want. So he went coordinator route NFL, and it's going to pay off. He will be a head coach at one of the openings around the league. I'd be shocked if he weren't. They look lights out. For Cincinnati, I mean, you want to talk about the most – you feel so cursed because of what happened to Joe. By the way, I'm going to start with catastrophic toe instead of turf toe. And I'm going to shorten it to cat toe. Cat toe is what I'm going to call turf toe injury from here on out. I'm going to go catastrophic toe. Because turf toe doesn't do it justice. It's much more... It can be career ending. You ask Arian Foster, It took him 5 years to get over it. So it is a catastrophic injury to your foot, and turf toe doesn't do it justice. So I'm going to go catastrophic toe injury with Burrow. So they have the worst luck you can possibly have with that. But they survived Cleveland in week 1, where they needed 6 things to go their way to win. They win last week against Jacksonville, and now they get Minnesota in Minnesota, but it's with Carson Wentz. So you're saying there's a chance? Yeah, I am. And the good news for them is they've got 2 good ones in the bank. If Jake Browning, if they're targeting December 12th, I think is when they play Baltimore the second time in 3 weeks. If they're targeting that as a Burrow return, Jake Browning just needs to be 500 between now and then. If they can get to that game and they're 2 games over 500 or even a game over 500, they're fine.
And they can do it kind of in a clunky way offensively, because I was just looking, Trey Hendrickson leads the league in quarterback pressures. So if they're able to harass, you got Carson Wentz, and really for this Bengals team, that's how you've been winning. That's how you're going to continue to win, I think, because last year they weren't winning these kinds of games, and they weren't able to, in those clutch situations, have clutch performances. Now, will Jake Browning throw a couple of interceptions tomorrow? Probably. Or Sunday, I should say. Yeah, but the Cincinnati team, unlike years past, has shown that they can get over that, which is wild to me.
They showed they could get over that with Joe Burrow at quarterback, and I guess they did win last week, but that's the Jaguars, and I don't think the Jags are very good. I'm still not convinced Burrow's coming back this year. I really think that's a questionable thing. I think the Bengals are cooked here with this schedule. The next 5 weeks for them coming up. Listen, Jake Browning he's an okay backup quarterback, but he's a backup quarterback, and he may keep you in some games, but he's going to lose you a couple too. It was kind of like last night. I kept waiting for Tua to do something, make a mistake that was going to let the Bills pull away. I'm waiting for that from Jake Browning. He threw 3 picks last week. You can get over that against the Jaguars. You're not going to get over that with this schedule coming up here. Maybe this week against Minnesota, but not after that.
What as an offshoot of these games, and this one's particularly, I want to see what Kevin O'Connell can do with Wentz. He's been a quarterback whisperer to every single person who he's had. He got Sam Darnold $100 million. Carson Wentz, if he doesn't get hurt the year they win the Super Bowl, he's the MVP of the league. And then he's been broken for 6 years. If he comes out and plays well, whatever you're paying that dude, O'Connell, it ain't enough, man, because it don't matter. Any quarterback can play good with him. So something that I'll be curious to see how that goes on Sunday as well. Doug Lesmeries in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
It's always a good day at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship. September 18th through 21st at the Scarlet Course. PGA Tour's rising stars compete, Hub 13 drink specials, and more. Get free tickets today at ncc-golf.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. You never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus. It's fall or autumn, as the losers like to say. What does that mean in the car world? That means places like Jermaine Lexus want to clear out all of their 2025 inventory to make room for the 2026 models. And for you, the customer, that means big savings. Take advantage of their lack of space with aggressive pricing. They also have plenty of L-certified vehicles on the lot for the fall collection sales event. If you're in the market, please stop in and see my friends. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton. JermaineLexus.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie. And once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, it's a Friday at 11:30. Time to head out on that Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Conversation with a good buddy, Doug Lesmeries. The Bill and Doug Show on YouTube. Bill and Doug on OSU Football Substack as well. Good to talk to you as always, my friend. Which is the... I'll pose this. I pose this question to Tim A. I'm going to pose it to you. You could put the vast Lesmeries estate on either Illinois the next 5 years or Indiana the next 5 years.
Ooh.
Where's it go?
Maybe Indiana, because I think it feels like Kurt Signetti has rallied the university to invest the resources necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I think Illinois did a good job keeping some guys around. keeping him out of the portal, maybe keeping him out of the NFL. I don't know if we know for sure that they're going to invest in the same way. I mean, they invested in Brett Bielema and gave him a new deal. I would like to think both are possible, but I think Cignetti's rallied the troops like Saban did in Alabama. So I think I'd put it on Indiana.
Okay, follow up to that from the Illinois side. If Wisconsin fires Fick, or if Ferentz retires in the next couple of years at Iowa, are either of those jobs better than the one that Bielema has right now at Illinois when everything is considered?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it has to be, right? I think certainly Illinois has the opportunity, probably maybe a little bit more of a recruiting base, more so than Iowa or Wisconsin. And, you know, I think he's been able to shape Illinois football enough in the image of what he did at Wisconsin. I mean, there might be, right, the Hawkeye tattoo on his leg, the fact that he won three Big Ten titles at Wisconsin. I think there would be the pull, right, the emotional, personal pull, but I don't know that Bielema would look at it and say, man, I have a better chance to win there. Because I think you should be, even though I just picked Indiana, I think you should be able to win at Illinois.
Yeah, if he can get Sean Kahn motivated a little bit with the alumni money, that to me is, there's something there that could really go if you start throwing the money around a little bit. The other game in the Big Ten this week and this one's more interesting to me even than Illinois and Indiana, because I'm a sucker for big brands. You've been in Nebraska a lot. I've been there once. There's a time it's a Mount Rushmore program, but it's been a museum program for 20 years. And Doug, it feels like every time they have one of these moments the last couple of decades where, hey, we're on to something, we got a big game on campus, we're going to honor the 95 Nebraska team, they fall right on their face. Is this the year that they finally don't with Nebraska, with Michigan coming to town tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I might pick Michigan in that game. So then I think maybe not, you know. I mean, I think Dylan Raiola hasn't thrown a pick yet, right? It seems like they got pieces on both sides of the ball. I mean, it is their moment, because the thing that happens with Nebraska is, you know, they're not a national title contender anymore, but they're not even like the next tier.
No.
Right? That they would, you know, Michigan had a rough year last year. They'd kill to be Michigan right now, right? People, you know, everything Iowa's not, like Nebraska would be happy to be Iowa in a lot of ways, right? Iowa's been beating them on the field. They've been consistent. Like, Nebraska's not looking at Ohio State and saying, like, man, I wish we were Ohio State. They're looking at, like, 4 or 5 other programs in the Big Ten and saying, I wish we were them.
Yep.
So, you know, you get 2 5-star quarterbacks in a game like this, like, it's a great opportunity, you know, but Nebraska has the more veteran quarterback. You know, they filled in the portal. Like, I don't think there's anything that's holding them back. It's a lot like Penn State, just a level below.
Yeah.
I think you look at Penn State on the field with the talent they have. There's nothing holding them back. It's like, can they get out of their own way? I think Nebraska's done enough in building this roster. I don't think there's anything holding them back. Can they get out of their own way? And also, if Michigan lets Bryce Underwood go, might be tough to stop that guy.
It's kind of the perfect game for the modern Big Ten, because you just alluded to the 2 5-star quarterbacks. If there were not NIL, I don't think either one of those guys would be at those places. I really don't. I think Raiola stays at Georgia, and I think Underwood goes to LSU.
It's LSU.
But they had NIL, and it's been the great evener. It's evened out. I mean, I just went on a rant at the top of the show about 12 SEC teams ranked, which is ridiculous. 9 in the Big Ten. 7 in the Big Ten, rather. But the reality is that this is what's changed in the sport. This is the evening of the playing field.
And, I mean, frankly, right, I mean, Dylan Raiola has the ties. He has the family ties there. His uncle's the offensive line coach. Bryce Underwood's from Detroit. So the point is, they probably should go to Nebraska and Michigan.
Yes.
That's probably where they should go. But because of the way the sport was perceived, because of maybe the things that schools in the South do to get guys, maybe they still wouldn't have. But now, and again, it's not that NIL has made the Big Ten of the North better, but it's evened it out. So I do think, and that's when you go through everybody in the Big Ten, and almost everybody has a quarterback. And whether they're young, whether they're portal guys, almost everybody feels good about quarterback, and certainly NIL and the portal are part of that discussion.
And Doug, I think bigger picture, that's why we have, and this has been one of the themes of the show this week, is there are no great teams yet. A year ago, if you and I are doing this topic and I say you can have Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, and Georgia, and I'll take the field, you would probably take those 4. This year, I don't know where that line stops. I mean, there might be 12, 13 teams that are all kind of in the similar boat. Obviously, Ohio State, Oregon, the ceiling's higher with some of them, but it does feel very wide open this year, and I think the NIL is a big part of that.
And we did a big show for our Substack subscribers this week about roster building at Ohio State, right? And work in the portal and retention and recruiting. And one of the things that I just think it's hard for the fans of Blue Bloods to get their head around is that you're just skimming maybe 10 or 15% off the top of the best teams and sprinkling that around. And it's not really like the fault of your team necessarily. It's the flattening and evening out of the sport, which is good. But if you are a fan of a dominant team, they might be just like slightly less dominant. It doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean they're not going to win. But I think it goes to what your discussion here is a little bit, that I think it's better if we don't just point at 3 or 4 teams and say, well, one of them's going to win it all. Unless you're a fan of one of those 3 or 4 teams, and then you're like, yeah, point at us. What do I care if it's flattened out, right? So I do think it's helpful, I think, for Ohio State fans just to understand that. The standards and the expectations for Ohio State are still high, but 10 or 15%, just like there's a little – it's just harder to be as dominant.
It is. Yeah. And it just evens it out a little bit. It's what allows for it's all working. What are your impressions of this Buckeye team through 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly I thought I had defensive questions coming in, and I don't anymore. And that's a credit to Matt Patricia and the intelligence of these players to be able to adapt to what he wants them to do very quickly. And then I was writing about deep ball stuff this week. A lot of people were. They're not doing it at a super high rate, but we've gotten a reminder of Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. Sometimes there's some slow starts with, Ohio State has great skill guys and taking advantage of them, and it's like, they have 2 studs, and they are getting them the ball. And Sayan is only going to get better, but he's been good enough getting them the ball. So I think defense-led team with 2 skill guys who are as good as it gets, good combo.
Yeah, I said this. I think they're playing as good as anybody, and they have the highest ceiling. And then I would put Oregon in that ceiling with them. And then I think for me, Doug, it's a little bit of a step back. Is there anybody else? I'll get you out of here on this one. Is there anybody else that maybe isn't getting that you've really liked how they've approached the first month here?
Yeah, I mean, maybe Miami. Both sides of the ball in the trenches. Veteran quarterback. I'm not a huge Carson Beck fan, but he's been around. They flashed some young skill, Malachi Toney, right? And I think Notre Dame's good, right? And Miami beat them. That's a really good win. So I think I've been talking about kind of like a top 3, and it's been Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you again next week. We'll have a game to discuss. Appreciate you as always. All right, there he goes. Doug Lesmeries joining on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. It is the Bill and Doug Show on YouTube, and then Bill and Doug on Ohio State Football Substack. Bill and Doug, OSU.substack.com. 3 things on a football Friday coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's the Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Flight Auto Glass. Safe to assume that this bye week here will involve not only just working on fundamentals, but getting some head starts on opponents.
Yeah. We're using the week as an improvement week. August was a physical month for us. Getting ready for the Texas game, and then we wanted to rest up a little bit here early in the week, but get right back on the field, and we know the areas we got to get better at. And like you said, fundamentals, technique, all those things have got to improve. we have to upgrade as each week goes on, but then also, making sure that, we're ahead in the situations, taking a look at the self-scout in the first 3 games, some tendencies that we may or may not have, making sure we're putting the right guys in the right spots. And then, like you said, looking at these next 4 opponents and trying to get ahead and make sure we're working on the things that we're going to need in the games.
We'll have another comment in just a moment. Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
With a bye week and the first of your 2 this year, Ryan, could you talk a little bit about the benefit of recruiting, especially when you can actually go out and see high school games?
Yeah, we're limited to 33 visits, so it's not like as many as it used to be, but now that we have 2 bye weeks, it does give us more flexibility. So Monday and Friday are really the days that we'll utilize, and guys will be on the road. And Friday nights is great because it gives us an opportunity to go see these guys play. And there's nothing better than going to high school games and watching these guys compete. And so yeah, great for us to be able to get out and get around our recruits and then also just learn more information. I think that's it's always been important, but now more than ever with everything going on and what comes with recruiting, we better make sure we're doing a great job evaluating not only on the field but off the field the type of people that we're bringing in the program.
There's the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota. Now through September 30th, get 2.99 APR financing on a rugged new 25 Tacoma. Excludes TRD Pro and Trail Hunter. Or lease a well-equipped Tacoma SR5 for $269 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Looking to get your roof or siding replaced this fall? Call the company that delivers an excellent customer experience every time. Newman Roofing. Don't wait. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Don't miss the Ultimate Car Show tonight at Valley Ford of Columbus. It's 4 GTs versus classic Ferraris, food trucks, live music, and tons of show cars. Everyone's invited. Drive your car in to show it off. Tonight, 6 to 9 p.m. at Valley Ford of Columbus.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And the Capital Florida Columbus High School football game of the week takes us to Westerville North Friday night as the Warriors host Delaware. Coverage at 6:30, kick at 7. After the game, it's Byers Subaru Dublin's overtime with Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran. Friday nights, so for high school football on the Fan. Bake, what's another one you're looking at tonight? Anything else jumping out?
The Pickerington Central Canal Winchester matchup. Seems like it could be a really good one. Central's only lost to Pick North this year so far. Canal Winchester's 4-0, and they've got a new coach this year in Rob Page, who was at Big Walnut a few years ago, and we know he could coach. I believe he was the offensive coordinator the past 2 years at UA. So he has a track record. He's a heck of a coach, so that one should be fun.
All righty. Reese, what do we have in the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll asks, do you think the bye week comes at a good time for Ohio State this weekend? 51% say yes.
I'd like one more.
Yeah.
One more. I wish it was Washington this week, then off, then Minnesota. That would, but I don't. I mean, you got two of them. You got to work in, so you got to do what you got. It's all right. It's fine. All right, time for three things on a Buckeye-less football Friday.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
All right, number one for me, true story. Last night, it's probably 8:37, something like that. I'm in my office, and I'm watching the Thursday night football game. And I've got the windows open in the house because it was cool enough at that point to do so. And I hear some sort of an animal noise. And then that is immediately followed by,
Bow! Bow! Get out! Get out! They're hyenas!
What? There are no hyenas in Ohio. No, they're not hyenas. Which then led to, well, I don't know. Maybe they're coyotes. Okay, well, we had the Coyote Whisperer on a while ago, and we got a pretty good read on all of that and how coyotes handle these rural/urban situations in Ohio. So I get out of my office. I go, well, okay, so what do we want me to do? She goes, go see. And I said, all right, well, I'll grab Buddy. And she's like, well, you can't take Buddy. And I'm like, have you seen a coyote in person? He sees Buddy Garrity, he's going to think he's a tiger. Like, he's not hanging around for that. He's gone. They're gone. So the end result was, as soon as I opened the door, the two coyotes who were out there, bat out of hell, gone. I mean, they're so skittish. They're just not. Now, someone's going to say, well, if they're rabid, look out. And if they're in a pack, look out. Okay, but I'm well-versed in how to handle coyote. No big deal on a Thursday. You're welcome, honey.
Yeah, you should just have her listen to the interview when we had the coyote expert on. Like, they're just scavenging. Not a real threat to anybody.
Not going to do any harm. They're not coming for your children. They're not breaking down doors. Not the big bad wolf.
First thing for me, I know we talked about this yesterday. Just be weary when betting on football bet on football games, but especially when you're betting on like the Raiders and the Commanders on Sunday. Washington's a 3.5-point favorite, but Jaden Daniels was not at practice today. This is from Adam Schefter. Marcus Mariota is in line to start versus the Raiders there. So if you've been holding off on that, this is kind of official from Schefter.
First thing for me, and I was going to start with the Reds because Hunter Green had an absolute gem last night, throwing a one-hitter, the first ever complete 9-inning shutout of his career. But I saw this on First Take on the studio TV here today. Stephen A. Smith gave his top 5
I wrote that down too.
Well, it's that bad. So
what did he do?
His top 5 wrestlers of all time. So at number 5, he had the Road Warriors, possibly the greatest tag team of all time. Can't argue with that.
Get rid of the possibly.
The Rock at number 4, Hogan at number 3, Ric Flair at number 2, and then his number 1 wrestler of all time, Goldberg. Get the hell out of here. Worst take ever.
He did such a good job
by
up until
Stephen
number
A.
1.
Smith. What the hell? Goldberg?
He's got to be the only person on the planet that would have Goldberg won, right?
Maybe Goldberg.
That's terrible.
Who is not good to other wrestlers either.
No,
Notorious
Bret Hart does not have Bill Goldberg as his top 5 or top 10 wrestlers of all time.
Number 2 for me. So yesterday we had a listener email in I mentioned earlier in the week that my cousin Brett was on this countrywide motorcycle trip that had somehow landed him in Newark, and he's like, well, I'm in the Ohio, can I see it? And I'm like, well, yeah, of course. And so he was going down to Chattanooga, and then he was coming back up, and so I had a listener write in, and I think we read it yesterday in the emails about taking Route 60 and then going that way up. And so my cousin Brett will be at my house tonight, and he's following that listener's advice. So that's what he's doing. That's his path today as he navigates through. So safe travels to him. And I look forward to hearing about exactly how this has all gone, because he's been on the road for like 3 weeks now and still has another couple weeks to get back to Montana by October.
Yeah, I'm going to make this my second thing. Just the questions that I have of if he gathers anything from his travels, where does he put them? Like if he's collecting things
Ship them? I don't know.
Yeah.
Good question.
Because I always wonder when I see, packs of motorcycles, and if they're going places and they want to take stuff home, there's not like a ton of space in your motorcycle.
No.
And this is my complete ignorance with some motorcycles out there and the kind of storage that they have. But I thought of him and I'm like, where is he putting his trinkets? Where is he putting his clothes? What about the soap?
Second thing for me, don't forget the fan call-in show has moved to 8 a.m. on Sundays during the football season. Most everybody through the first couple weeks of this with NFL games and Buckeyes, they've done really good with calling in. But 8 a.m. this week on the bye week for the Buckeyes, and we will have passes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame to give away as well.
Oh, that's very nice. Finally, number 3. I'm going to take a little bit of a football vacation this week. I'm going to watch one game on Saturday, one Saturday window, I should say, and then I'm going to watch, obviously, the early window on Sunday. But the weather is so great. We're going to do a little old school Saturdays for the boys, play some golf with the fellas, with the 3 boys this weekend, and have a little bit of fun. I recommend you do the same. Live, damn it. It's beautiful out.
Yeah, get as much time as you can outside, because you're going to be thinking, I think, in December, like, it's just too cold. Because I think this weekend I'll be like, it's too hot. But just, have some perspective. I got a question for the Miami Dolphins. What are you waiting for? The report from Pro Football Talk says they're keeping Mike McDaniel. We know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Pull it early. Maybe you salvage a competitive last part of your season.
They might want to lean into it. At 0-3, maybe lean in.
Tank for Arch? I don't know if that's the guy anymore.
He's not the guy. No, you want to get rid of him and then have the plan for what you're doing in the 26th draft.
I think they play Stephen F. Austin. If you're bouncing around, just watch for a little bit, and you tell me what it looks like.
Final thing for me, Rothman and Ice coming up next. Dave Biddle in again for Maddie. The boys are live out at Pub 13 at the OSU Scarlet Course for the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship. So, hey, if you're out there, stop by Pub 13 and say hi to the fellas.
That's a great event. Good for those guys out there. We are back Monday to react to all of it. Enjoy your football Friday and your weekend, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan.